Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. I am a little bit ill still. I've been a little bit ill. I haven't recorded an episode whilst ill, but I'm still there a little bit. So we're gonna see how today goes. I'm all hopped up on Dayquil. So we'll see how things go. A couple of things I want to draw your attention to. Uh, National Defense. No, where is it? The Imperial Guard. Apparently, half my mobile artillery never upgraded. Oh. Because I've reached the siege artillery world. Okay, so we're going to change this to shrapnel artillery. And now we're going to upgrade our mobile artillery. I don't know how that happened, but it is something that happened. Um, I'm doing good on bureaucracy, but partially that's due to my petite bourgeoisie being happy. I think right away, so I'm all hopped up. Sorry, the thing I was saying was I'm all hopped up on Dayquil, so we'll see how long things go. Beautiful. Tidor is enacting universal suffrage. Right away, I got one political change I want to make, and that's I want to move to commercialized agriculture. Nobody who matters to me is going to stop me with this. So we'll do that. That's going to piss off the daimyo. That could... That'll cost me a little bit of authority, but that's not too much of a problem. That gives me a reduced loan interest rate. What does that do to my interest? It's pretty good. Civilizing mission, very nice. Let me take a quick look at where I am with technology. I still don't have radio yet. Wait a minute. Oh, I have defense in depth already. That's wild. I had forgotten I had done that. Well, that's fine. So it makes sense that I'm going for radio here. Do I still want to do all this other stuff first? I need these tier 2s. I need these tier 2s before I do the tier 4s, but I don't technically need them. But pump jacks is a really good one to have, and then it's just vulcanization. Oh, vulcanization is actually almost done. So I'm really wasting very little time on threshing machines. I do have corporatism spreading. Now, we are going with a reactionary build here. Very happy with this number. Very happy with this number. Getting only a little bit from unspent innovation, which is interesting. Oh, I guess I'm getting extra from education levels. Right. So I think once I'm done with all this stuff, I think I'm going to knock out everything still kicking around in tier 3 for, oh, actually, hold on. Investment banks is more urgent than, anarchism. Let me see. Corporatism I'm going to have by then. We'll do this. And then I'm going to snag myself political agitation, and we'll see if we can go to single-party state, which is going to solve my political problems and allow me to maintain a hard traditionalist power structure forever. Philippines, my friend, how are you doing? Josian, my friend, let's have an agreement. You're a protectorate of mine. I have investment rights. We have a truce, interestingly. Oh, probably because I increased their autonomy. What can we do to increase our stuff? I would like military access. You're fine with that. I should pause before I do this. It's Joseon to build in the Empire of Japan. It's an interesting idea. I don't necessarily want that. What if you give me military assistance? Oh, no, that's me giving you military assistance. No, that's fine. No, you have to do this because we're a protectorate. Hey, let me march armies through you. What if you pay me for it? What if you pay me for me having the right to march armies through you? They will. They will pay just a little bit. Because I could still use the money. Down to 2K makes it a questionable. No, we'll try it. We'll try it. We'll see how it goes. Excellent. So, I'm realizing that I am a little... I don't have trade access in a lot of these areas. So I'm going to throw together some trade capacity. Hey. You still going? Got to keep an eye on that. I can go to modern port. You say you'll be more effective, but will you be? Probably. Let's put all of this stuff on privatize. I don't know about the railways. We'll see. Yeah, okay. We're let's go. What am I looking for? I'm looking for trade centers. Okay, I'm gonna hit the button that crashes the game here for a second. Where have we got trade centers? They're all in Kyushu. Unbelievable. What is going on? And there's a bunch in Shigoku. Listen, I'm gonna put a few trade centers in all of the spots in the country. And we're gonna see how that impacts things. That's wild. Why would it all be in Kyushu? That's so bananas. How's the investment pool? Investment pool is doing well. So I can afford to stop building in a little bit. I could survey a skyscraper site. That's actually a good thing to use my my extra bureaucracy for right now. So let's get started with that. And that should add that to the journal over here. Well, it'll add it to the journal. People's Revolution. Ah, yes. Now let's pin that. So we're surveying a skyscraper site. So, just go ahead and read this. Our architects believe that innovations involving steel frames and concrete would allow the construction of buildings taller than ever conceived before. We've authorized a survey to identify the best possible site to lay the foundations. So this is going to go for 2 years. It's going to cost 500 bureaucratic capacity. Sick leave. A lengthy speech by Kuroki Sukanori took a wild turn after consuming a tainted drink. With his incapacitation, the government has lost one of its most effective advocates for commercialized agriculture. So Kuroki Sukanori is an intelligentsia land reformer aligned with the peasant movement. The page was dispatched shortly after the speech began, and he arrived with a sandwich and the fateful drink. Everyone in the audience could see the long-winded speech became a battle to put down a revolting stomach. Indeed, had the speech stopped, the speaker's dignity would have ended with it. Had it not stopped, the people might have demanded an assassin's head. Wish Kuroki Sukanori a speedy recovery. Reduced enactment success chance. He loses popularity. 2% of intelligentsia member pops become more loyalists. Or scour the vicinity for assassins on the double. We lose half as much a successful enactment success chance, but he becomes wounded. I'm fine with him becoming wounded. I want to do this. This is going to help lock in our Zaibatsu. And maybe our petite bourgeoisie? We'll see. I think I might have... There's vulcanization. Wonderful. I think I might have just enough bureaucratic capacity, or be close to enough bureaucratic capacity to increase home affairs. So we'll go ahead and do that. But we'll wait until the skyscraper survey is done. Because that's also going to strengthen my petite bourgeoisie. Yeah, I still have a lot of places where standard of living is low. I've got a lot of unemployment in the country. I think, golly. I think I may have made a mistake with my welfare plan. Photographs of the Empire of Japan. It has been suggested that we take and distribute some pictures of our country's most famous landmarks. So many wonderful places all across the country. It just seems right that the world gets to see them too. We should distribute them internationally, extra prestige. We should distribute them domestically, extra legitimacy. You know I'm going for that free legitimacy. Because I need it, my nerds. I need legitimacy so bad. It's crazy. I can't get more legitimacy than I've currently got. Now, what is my... I just got vulcanization, but I don't have rubber in my customs union. So this is probably not going to be reasonable, unless I want to import all my rubber. Wait, no, I can have rubber in my customs union. I can have rubber in my customs union. Alright, so, wow, that's a lot of tooling workshops. Let's build up the rubber capacity first, and then we'll do this. So, population... Wow, not a lot of labor available in Borneo. Bit of a surprise. Let's build some rubber plantations here. And we'll build some rubber plantations here, and we'll build some rubber plantations here. Do I put those at the top of the queue? Nah, I think it's fine for me to wait until these trade centers are finished. I've still got really good chances with commercialized agriculture, so I'm not worried about that. Red Scare is almost done. Still feeling pretty rock solid about that. The communist movement was pretty big mad for a while. Philippines sides with the Qing radical revolts. Interesting. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep an eye on this. If the Qing government adds a war goal against the Philippines that matters, I will step in. If not, I will not. But I need to keep an eye on it and just be ready to just do what needs to be done, because I don't want to risk a situation with the Philippines. I don't think they would. I think it would be a mistake for them to. Portugal sides with Great Qing. Now that's interesting. Very curious. Good opportunity for me, theoretically, unless Portugal has problematic alliances, which it doesn't seem like they do. So theoretically. Burma would try to stop me, and yeah, I don't think that's bad at all. I don't think that's bad at all. So if I do this now, this gives me a front with Java and the Sunda Isles. Theoretically, if I took those, it's Mysore, Burma, Dainam, Luang Prabang. What if I got more aggressive? Still nobody I'm really worried about. Okay, alright, this could work. I could use this in my favor. I could engage in some delicious opportunism. Now, who else is here to step in? This is Spain. Whoa! Spain is communist. Look at this. So what are they doing with their politics? They're doing Council Republic interventionism. There's still traditionalist citizenship. That's quite curious. That's quite curious. I don't know what to make of that. And Valencia has left the country, which is really fascinating. Meanwhile, the Germans and the Russians are shooting at each other. And what's this about? Germany wants Bulgaria to nationalize buildings in Germany, to get Oman and to get Cochin, and Russia wants no tolls through the Öresund Strait. So that's interesting. Not sure what to make of that. I don't think it affects my situation. Anyway, let's continue the great game, shall we? This could prove expensive if I continue to get aggressive, but I'm not too worried about it. No secondary demands yet. I wonder if you can't have secondary demands in this type of war. I suppose you can't. You know, I should have started getting the investment thing going before clicking this skyscraper button, but hindsight's 20/20. Alright, we're starting to build those rubber plants. Nobody is involved still. Alright, no problems. Beautiful. Law progressed to drafting. Wonderful. That's exactly what I was hoping. Shisha ethno-nationalist leader. Interesting. Oh, new journal entry, Our Nation, Our Culture. That's one that you usually start with. So, this is usually one you get pretty early on. Let's take a look at this, because this is something we might want to do. The homeland of our ancestors belongs to us, and to us it shall return. Oh, no, this is different. I'm thinking of something else. We'll complete if we've enacted any variant of ethno-state, if we have migration controls or closed borders, and we own all of our cultural homelands. Triggers the event national events. Interesting. So, that involves basically, we need to annex Yuan Moshir, because I believe, yeah, Hokkaido is a Japanese homeland as well. It's going to make things up here a little bit complicated. Oh, you've got a market access shortage. That's something I need to solve. You have railways, and they're subsidized, but not rolling. Okay, they're rolling now. All right, there's pump jacks. Beautiful. Oil in Tohoku. Wonderful. Oil. The discovery of oil in Tohoku is causing people to flock to the state, hoping to find jobs in this booming industry. Gold, silver, diamonds, for what? Trinkets and finery for the gentry. Glamour to hide that their time has passed. Listen, my friend, nostalgia may be gilded, but the future runs on oil. Encourage this trend, oil is the future. This gives us 100% extra migration attraction in Tohoku, 20% increased oil industry employee mortality, -1 oil industry employee standard of living, 50% extra oil industry employees, but 20% increased oil extractors throughput. Our progress is best tempered with caution. Half the modifiers for oil industry employees, oil extractors throughput, and migration attraction, but no penalty to standard of living and mortality. And then these two, it's like the gold rush ones. These are always encourage an oil rush wherever it's found, or caution is always wise, no matter the time and place. I'm going to pick caution is always wise, no matter the time and place. That's my goal here. Alright, so we're building these rubber plants. I'm going to start slowly moving my my tooling workshops over to vulcanization, starting with the lowest level ones. Thank you. So I've created a rubber shortage, clearly. Spain improving relations, that's interesting. Alright, so we're not improving things yet. Okay, now we are. Alright, beautiful. So no shortage as of now. Let's grab another one. I can't change ones that are not in Japan. That's fine. Koshinetsu. Machine steel tools. Alright, still got a shortage, but we're working on that. Oh, right. So, now that this situation is sorted out, now that China's kicked off, it's a good opportunity to go after Portugal. Again, if Mysore steps in, it's not a problem for me. If Burma steps in, it's not a problem for me. 13% chance they say yes, Luang Prabang and Dai Nam don't care about either of them. And Great Britain... I wonder what will happen if Dai Nam steps in and I try something with that. But let's do this. Alright, Portugal refuses. I'm just going to mobilize the Special Naval Landing Forces. Now, I'm on the upgraded Marines now, so hopefully this will be a reasonable situation. I'll be able to get what I wish to get. So we're just going to leave this be for now. Can I stage you any closer? I can. Let's go ahead and stage these units in Tidor by transporting them there with the First Fleet. Interesting that this number is still a little wonky. Have I made an error with rubber? I'm importing almost all my rubber. Alright, so now that I've got... rubber plantations rolling. So let's go ahead and hard import tariff rubber. Okay, so there's Mysore, siding with Portugal. Now, it will be interesting. Mysore doesn't have that much of an army. What if hypothetically? Portuguese East Africa, that's here. That's interesting. What if hypothetically Macau? How curious. I could seize a little bit of China. Ooh. What an interesting opportunity. Alright, so I can't go after Mysore because I'm not interested enough in this area, in this geography. So that makes a certain degree of sense. But I could steal a subject. Now, but if I steal a subject, that would slow me down going this way, because I would have infamy, so I'm not going to do that. Did I do my rubber tariff? I did. So that should be getting my rubber plantations rolling. Oh, now that I have pump jacks, I can use... Portugal backs down. Lovely. Alright, easy peasy. So, from here, now, if I go after Java, Great Britain will not step in because their relations with Java are too low. And they're the only ones I am really concerned about. Now, is Java... Java is still a major. But because nobody I'm concerned about could really step in, I could actually go a little buck wild. Maybe seize East Java as well. So the only danger is if I do this, then Great Britain might step in and take them as a puppet, and then I would have a whole kerfuffle to deal with. So maybe I just snag the Sunda Isles. Who's living in the Sunda Isles? These are largely Melanesian people. Heritage Melanesian, language Melanesian. Okay, please let me look at the things. Indigenous Oceanic, heritage group, Austronesian language group. Okay. So, Tidor is primarily Moluccan. Their heritage Insulindian, which is trait group Southeast Asian. Okay, so I can't put them under Tidor because they'll be discriminated. So maybe I'll be able to. We'll see. We'll see what happens. What's the population here? 2.23 million. All right, so there's sufficient population here for a state. Let's go ahead and grab this territory here. I'm gonna hit confirm on that. We're already moving the first fleet. There we go. Huh, interesting. Okay, the Special Naval Landing Forces seem to have failed to move. So what we'll do is we'll get the Expeditionary Force on their way to the front. Using the First Fleet. Now, First Fleet, that means should be going... Why are you going there, First Fleet? First Fleet, where are you going? Can you please come back this way? Alright, so now they're coming back this way. So, let's set up that transfer again. And make sure that sorts itself out. Law progressed to voting. Wonderful. Now our subjects are getting there. Now the first fleet is still continuing to increase in size. Mexico improving relations. Mysore sides with Java. Okay. If I sway Great Britain, they only want subjects. I really don't want to give them Asha. This fleet is extremely slow. I think it may be time to reorganize my my fleets. Something's going on with my... I'm short a cruiser here. What does my naval construction queue look like? I'm just building torpedo boats. Let's build one more... Let's build one more cruiser. Can I look at... Where's the ship designer button? Is this a ship designer button, or do I need to go into it in here? Okay, add template. Alright, let me, hold on. There's gotta be... There's a create ship template button, but there's not a... So my issue is my fleets are too slow. I'm realizing is part of one of my big problems here. So, like for example, I've got a ton of these base frigates. How do I... Okay, show obsolete. Alright, here we go. So these ships have a ship speed of 10.5. Now what about my capital ships? Because I think these are really where the problem is, okay? My ships of the line have a speed of 9.5. Okay, so that's not much worse. My modern ironclads have a speed of 15.5. So that's good. My mod 1882 cruisers also have a speed of 10.5. And then I have these torpedo craft. These have a speed of 19.5. Alright, so what I need to progress towards is getting a good, solid baseline of modern ships into this fleet so that I can put these ships of the line and these old boats into a different fleet. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase iron frigates by 5 more. No, why does this say 5? Should be 6. Did I just goof up the number that I queued in? Okay, no, this is 7. Okay, I don't know what's going... Okay, alright, there we go. So it was a display thing. And then we'll queue in a few more modern, good capital ships. Oh, please tell me these are... Yes, okay. And then what we'll do is we'll move the other ships out into a different fleet. And then we can have a fleet that can move around faster and get more work done. What was that? That was potentially something. Wow, there are a lot of troops here. Spain wants trade privileges. You know what? Let's negotiate. How much money do I make from tolls? Doesn't seem like any. So, what if we do a no tolls agreement, and you instead pay me a lump sum? What if you instead pay me a lump sum? They might say yes. 87%. Let's do it. Alright. They're happy with that. New mandate available. Wonderful. Please get going. Please get going. Alright, there they go. Alright. Now I can increase defensive cooperation to level 2. This is reduce sway cost for the diplomatic play target and impose same army law. So that's an interesting idea. But I could also do other things. I want to get market unification. 10% extra infrastructure is rock solid. Oh, interesting. This becomes a customs union at level 2 now. And then supply ships construction efficiency. That's really, really strong. Yeah, so we'll start with market unification. Let's get rolling with that. So right now I'm relying on the investment pool for all my construction, and that seems to be going okay. Asha doesn't seem to be doing anything over here. They're going for a return of Kalebis. Right now, I'm not really worried about Asha. I guess they can't put troops over there because they don't have a fleet. I'm probably going to get this army here, the first half of the Expeditionary Force, basically right as the war starts. And that's just going to have to kind of be enough. Can I get you to join the fleet? Cannot disband a formation while it is being transported by a fleet. Alright, curious. So there's something going on there with transport. But we'll see. We'll see what comes of that. Now, where do I have a starvation? I don't have a severe starvation. So that's cool. Is it the Sunda Isles? Yeah, it's the Sunda Isles. Alright, so because you don't have a... No, you do have a port. Okay, so we're connected. You don't have any food production. Wow, 23 weeks. Wow, Portugal, you just completely goofed this area, huh? You just really completely beefed all action here. All right, we're going to put this army on defense. You're no longer transporting, so you've grouped up. So next, do I move the second half of the Expeditionary Force, or do I move the Snulf? I think I move the Snulf. Because they're going to be able to offer more assistance sooner. Now this army's at the front, which means we're using a lot more supply ships. But we're using plenty of supply ships. We're building plenty of supply ships. Okay, and now this is costing us a pile of cash, because now we're supplying these armies. Discord within the armed forces. An influential faction within the armed forces has grown frustrated with their government's neutrality on the topic of commercialized agriculture. Themselves in favor of the law, they've now resolved to form a separate political faction, intent on passing it. How can you stand idly by and watch the world pass before your eyes? Have you no sense of honor, of duty to your fellow man? I say nay to such lack of ambition, and I dare say I am not alone in this. With their support, the bill shall pass. Slightly weaker armed forces, or the intelligentsia extended open into these mavericks. Stronger intelligentsia, weaker armed forces, not as much an acting success chance. What is this? Zaibatsu will join the Progressive Party on the next election. Oh, they'll be by themselves. That's exciting. That's exciting, my nerds. Let's go ahead and we'll just weaken the armed forces for this. So that's actually very good for me. So now, we'll see the enemy is pressing forward here. They're pressing forward in Asha. I can't do anything about that. Oh, right. And this is costing me more because now I've got another army mobilized. Which makes perfect sense. And I am winning on the defense here, which is good. My defense is significantly better than theirs. I think they might be using... Yeah, they're still using skirmish infantry while I'm using trench. Wait a second. Okay, whew. I thought I saw something that frightened me. I thought I saw something that did me a big frighten. Alright. Snowf is on the way. There's a battle happening here. Curious. Alright. We got a battle happening over here, which my side is winning once again. So hopefully that will work. Liberal revolts in Morocco, liberal revolts in Togourt. I don't know why I'm involved over here, but I apparently am. Now, it would be very hard for me to get to ethno-state unless someone in my sort of coalitions. Oh, weird. Germany. How can you be so big mad? How could you become biggest mad at me in this way? Gotta make sure my relationships are not withering here. Because if my relationships start to wither, that's going to mean problems later on. Alright, so Snulf is here now. Let's get the remainder of the expeditionary force transferred to the front. Okay, so we are pressing forward now, and it does appear that at present, at least, we are winning. And there's commercialized agriculture. So that should make my Zaibatsu significantly more powerful as time goes by here. But I am at a shortage of supply ships. So we'll see what comes of that. I wish I could see... So I need about 600 more. So let's look at the queue now. I'm building so much supply ships, so many supply ships, it's bananas. I'm building like 15 supply ships at once. They cost about 5 weeks to build. Yeah, it's going to take some time before we're good, but I might be able to win the war by then. The Javanese Ark. With arrested communists beginning to stream into Japanese prisons, figures in the government have suggested deporting the non-citizens among them to Java aboard a chartered cargo ship. Just as the sailing of the Ark that Noah built was a pledge for the preservation of the human race, so the sailing of the Javanese Ark is a pledge for the preservation of the Empire of Japan. A wonderfully poetic suggestion. 221 Ryukyu and atheist laborers in Nansei Shoto will move to West Java. 2% of pops in Nansei Shoto will become more loyalist. Or they will serve their sentences on our soil, piss off the petite bourgeoisie. You know what? Get them out of here. Ugh, what a ridiculous situation. Ah, this army is on offense. Alright, threshing machines are here. So, I am going to put my armies back on defense because force comparison has gotten worse. I really hope we can win this battle. Oh, but supply is getting worse. I really goobered this one, my nerds. I don't know what else to say. I really thought I had the capacity to improve my... I really thought I had the necessary shipbuilding capacity to not have this problem. I guess the answer is I need to continue to build up my shipyard capacity. Well, I guess I have to subsidize them is what I really need to do, because these shipyards, they can't freaking hire. Well, they're hiring now, but still. Like, you guys... I have to pay for them. I can't expand them, I have to pay for them. Because I need to have the necessary supply ships to supply my forces. Alright, so that's the end of the Red Terror. A subtler terror. After years of competing propaganda and social mistrust, the Red Scare has ebbed to a more manageable level. Whilst many remain watchful for communist activity, the days of unmatched fear in the Empire of Japan have come to a relative end. We have passed beyond the stage in political development where heresy hunting is a permitted sport. Charles Evan Hughes. Our nation will be made safe. Extra authority, reduce radicals from political movements. Petite bourgeoisie and Jisha stronger and happier, reduce political strength of laborers. Or we must repent for our own excesses, increase loyalty from political movements, weaker fascist and reactionary movements, increase political strength of laborers. Petite bourgeoisie and Jisha weaker. What an interesting. This didn't used to be this. This used to make fascist and reactionary movements stronger. I'm gonna go for the first one. I think that's reasonable. And I think. Wow, I really did not think I was going to be having a problem going after Java. Yeah, because my armies are low on organization and low on supply now. Alright, ship construction capacity has increased. I'm building many, many supply ships all at once, so hopefully this should... Yeah, and these shipyards are continuing to hire right now. They're unprofitable, of course. I'm spending a lot of cash subsidizing them, but not that much. Yeah, alright, I'm continuing to subsidize, so this number is going up. So hopefully, what this means is we'll be able to rectify our... See, why are these numbers so much higher now? Alright. So now that this fleet is in this port, let's send them to protect supply lines here. No, this is a fool's errand. I need to move the Snulf out of the front. That's the only way this is going to work. This is I need to get this shortage of supply ships fixed before I lose my front here. Because if I lose my front here, it's a whole hairball. All right. Dang. I really thought this was going to be more straightforward. Ooh, I got a little administrative capacity. Let's get this going. I am still winning on defense despite my low organization, so I might still be able to clinch it with only the expeditionary force. I keep beefing these wars, my nerds. I keep messing it up. I'm really just not used to the supply system. I need to play as a power that does a lot more naval stuff early on so I can get a better handle on this. And how this works. Now I am currently building supply ships at ludicrous speeds due to the number of shipyards I've got and the amount of money that I'm funneling into them. And 15k into those shipyards. We are still winning on defense. But this force moving back, I'm going to set their default behavior to advance. This should... So the Special Naval Landing Force line item should disappear when these troops are back here. Now, where are you going? I'm not sure. We're going to demobilize the Snulf. Alright, now our supply situation is uncooked. So that means this army is getting supplies back now. Perfect. And I should be able to put all of these ships into the first fleet. I think I'm actually quietly running way higher ship construction needs than I need to be. Okay, so you're... Okay, so these armies, they don't show how much supply they need right out the gate. Now you, I'm going to set to heavy supply use because... Oh, no, that doesn't change the amount of supply ships. It just makes them a higher priority in the overall scheme of things. Okay, so... God's will. Ah, we're in an election. Alright. I'm just going to let the week change over so that I can see what's going on there. Alright, T-Door is in default, that's fine. So, the Constitutional Party is way higher up. The Progressive Party is by themselves, so that's interesting. They're the ones I ultimately want to increase the power of. Mitsune Tadakuni of the Jisha has been preaching in favor of the Constitutional Government Association, convinced that their victory has been foreseen in God's plans. Do you think that God would not have a plan for our pious nation? Of course there is a plan. There must always be a plan. I've seen it myself. Let me tell you, I've seen it as clear as I see you right now, just before my eyes. And who else to lead this adrift government than those who can clearly read that plan? Who are we to stand against God's will? Stronger Jisha. Such a shame the nation is not ruled by God then. He loses popularity. Or, but surely God wants the Progressive Party to win. I'm going to pick that third one. Let's see how that impacts our situation. Now, unfortunately, we are losing a battle here. But my army should be doing a lot better once we're fully supplied. Now, I have the supply ships, so let me set this fleet protecting supply lines. And we'll go after these armies here. Quite curious. Well, hold on. So the Constitutional Party has a lot of momentum. That's partially what's going on here. So we'll see kind of how things go. The good old days. When invited to give a speech on behalf of the Constitutional Government Association, Muhammad Haisim Tajul began extolling the virtues of a strong home, strong borders, and strong men. The public reception was mixed. Truly, I dare say, the men are no longer men. They are coddled with books, as if they are any substitute for a real adventure. Their mothers swaddle them in cotton and silk, only for them to be henpecked by their wives, and heaven forbid they take a pint of beer, one sip and they need their fathers to carry them home. Want someone think of the children, experimental for the Constitutional Government Association, or rhetoric cannot disguise what Tajul wants? They get reduced momentum and he becomes out of touch. I'm going to do that. We'll swing it the other way. We'll swing it towards the Constitutional Party for the moment. Alright, so we are winning battles on defense now, so that's good. And we're getting our supply situation up. Is this where we're still having our... Yeah, we still are. Okay, so I need to actually be building more... I need to be subsidizing the rice farms so that they can frickin' produce. Alright, so that's our skyscraper survey completed. Skyscraper survey identified. Our architects and engineers have identified Kyoto as the optimal site to begin construction of a skyscraper. Brilliant idea, sir. Gentlemen, we are going to erect the tallest building in the world. The foundation alone will need hundreds of men, more if they will not work 12-hour shifts. Every day we will need to transport thousands of bags of cement into the heart of a metropolis. We must secure an immense quantity of steel that must, like Atlas, hold the weight of the whole world. The task ahead of us is monumental. Lay the foundations. Alright, so Kyoto. Get a skyscraper. What is, Oh, interesting. Conscriptable battalions for the power block statue. That's pretty rock solid, frankly. Fruitful endorsements. In a gesture of solidarity with the Constitutional Government Association, Kujo Takeko has encouraged her supporters to vote for it in the ongoing election. For the interest of all principled people, the Constitutional Government Association has a consistent record of excellence. I cannot speak higher of those brave men and women moving the Empire of Japan forwards under their names. So once again, this is the Conservatives. So yes, our thanks certainly. Extra mention for them, or the endorsement would best be more specific. to the G-Shah. I don't much care about that, so I'll just give them their momentum back. Oil's been discovered in Asha. That's interesting. Now, both of us have war support protection, I believe. Yes. So I can kind of maintain this indefinitely, but for the price of the price tag of my armies. I'm gonna wait until this force is fully supplied. Asha is in default. Okay. An extreme reaction. In their campaign for the upcoming election, the Constitutional Party have directed criticism at the Constitutional Government Association for allowing Mitsune Tadakuni among their ranks, pointing to his far-right views as an example of the party accommodating extremists. They call themselves conservatives, in itself a void of values and ideals, but something even worse has grown within that void. Among their ranks are those who would not only stand in the way of the country changing, but who would want to shape its future to their own delusional ideas of a past that never existed, prepared to use any methods to achieve it. Do not cast your vote lightly unless you want to take the first step on the road to war and genocide. Far from the traditional Japanese values they claim, extra momentum for the Constitutional Association, the Constitutional Party, or Mitsune is simply a dedicated patriot, extra momentum for the Constitutional Government Association, and extra radicalism for discriminating pops. I'm going to go with the first one. I think at this point, we're likely to see a Constitutional Party sweep regardless of what happens. So I'm hoping to put the Progressive Party in with them, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. No interest. The Progressives wound up in the opposition. Weird. Well, we'll see what happens. I hope I'm not goofing myself up completely here. Corporatism unlocked. Alright, so we are continuing to win battles over here. So I'm reasonably confident. Now, okay, can you also protect supply lines here, please? Alright, there we go. Yes, the entire area. Alright, and there's steam turbine. Excellent, actually. So, let's get our power plants using steam. You know what? I never reset production methods here. Speaking of which, are you still having a starvation problem? You are. Let's go ahead. Rice farms still can't hire. That's bananas. I'm gonna build up another level, but like... there's no labor available, which is a shame. So there's the election. The Buddhist Party. Interesting. Alright, so let's... okay, here, perfect. So, we got the industrialists. Okay, and they're going to join the Constitutional Government Association in the next election, which is over here. Alright, so the Zaibatsu have just decided to be silly this whole time. We're still paying quite a bit in interest. I'm not loving where we are cash flow-wise. What can I do? I'm kind of where I want to be in terms of my politics. So we'll remain here. Despite this force comparison, I'm considering the possibility of moving forward, of trying to advance. We're still maxed up on manpower. Again, my primary bottleneck is really in supply ships. Now, I don't know why this feels like I'm losing. Like... Okay, so they're generally doing better than I am. These are... What type of ship are these? So they're shooting at my capital ships right now. So these are the... Okay, so they've got more modern boats. Interesting. Am I suffering modifiers here? Is that what's going on? What type of boat is this? Can I see that? Okay. How... Alright, so now they're withdrawing. Okay, presence is still increasing. Oh, I see the problem. They're well, they... Okay, Mexico's formed a power block. Alright, so now they're over here. So, I'm going to unassign. I'm going to have them just protect supply lines where the enemy fleet is. Alright, there's Home Affairs hitting level 3. I can throw in another consumption tax. Let's put that on coffee. Is there any way I can be more efficient about these consumption taxes? Actually, there is. Let's hit fruit. Alright, so there's the pre-dreadnought. Now, the dreadnought, I believe, is a slower ship template. Let's take a look. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. Where's speed? Here, 15.5. Okay, no, so you're still basically... But does this reduce speed? I don't think it does. Modifications, I've got a bunch available. Let me see. I think rangefinders are still good. Expanded sickbay, fabric, liquor, and opium. Reduce suffered crew attack damage. And there's an interesting idea. Make them tougher. Camouflage. Let's go with rangefinders and expanded sickbay. 1.1k maintenance cost. Okay, we'll create that template. And you know what? Okay, and now we'll merge you in with the main fleet. That should be good. I'm not... Do I increase the number of... I'm trying to figure out if I increase... I think I still need more iron frigates. Oh, armored cruiser. Hold on. This is the thing. I'm liking my my system. Advanced explosives. Mr. Critical Chance. That's pretty cute. You know what? I've got plenty of sulfur for fire suppression. We're gonna go with we're gonna emphasize resilience. All right. So wait a second. Hold up. Hold on. I was completely looking at the wrong thing. Alright, armored cruiser. Tougher hulls. More stowage. Expanded sick bay. Okay, we can only have one over here. let's go with fire suppression, because sulfur is just fine. I'm going to create this template, and we're going to pick that as our template, and I'm going to add 10 of these to the fleet. Oh, right. Legislation imposed on Tidor refused. The ambassador returns, bearing the news of the rejection. They chose pride over progress, he reports. The silence that follows lies heavy in the council chamber. How ought we react to such insubordination? Tidor, you just need to get off of autocracy, my guy. Could you get anywhere that would not be terrible? Technocracy? Not really. Oh, golly. What if we focus on something a little bit more feasible? Go to have a police force. Have a police force that cares. Alright, so. So now we're over here, but now their fleet's gone. So okay, so now they're going home. Alright, so let's go ahead and they're willing to peace out. It's probably a white peace. Yeah, I'm gonna reject for now. So let's dock the fleet for now. Now that they're off the ocean. I am winning a lot of battles here. I'm losing more support very, very slowly. But let's see what happens if I try and attack. Actually, do I want pillage? Yeah, increase morale damage. Let's do it. Alright, so I'm still winning on defense. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Alright, I've got 1.37k supply ships available right now, but that's because this fleet's in port. Okay, hold on. We go over here. Okay, 1.58k. They're still going okay. Okay, we are winning on advance. We are winning on an attack right now. So, I'm feeling pretty good about that. And this is us winning on defense. Okay. Alright, so I am... Oh. Yes, we are successfully going forward right now on this front. Despite the force comparison being apparently pretty bad. Okay. So the Mysore fleet is back. Let's transfer... the new ships into the fleet. And now we'll take... So, now I'm thinking... I'm gonna try this. This might be a giant mistake. But let's take all of the old ships. And we'll put them into a new fleet. This fleet looks okay to me for now. Let's put them on protect supply lines. Okay, they're going much faster now, I think. Okay, there they go. Hey, we're actually working towards designer clothes. That's wonderful. We've become one of the world's largest clothing producers. Excellent. All right. All right, so these are like supply ships. These are supply ships. So I should have my fleet getting in here pretty soon. All right, so they're trying to piece us out again. Now we're kind of losing on offense over here. How much occupation have we got of the Sunda Isles? 37%. Okay. So I'm gonna put this army back on defense. And once we're fully resupplied, we'll be doing better on attack. All right. So I think I can do one. Advancing battle at once, and then I need to chill. Cash flow seems to be doing a lot better as well. Okay, now I've got 1.95k. Okay, but this is a mirage. This is happening because this force is low on manpower, so it's consuming fewer resources. That's what's going on here. Now we are still winning battles on defense. So, as long as we can continue to hold and wait, we should be good to go. I think they're going to get occupation back from winning a defensive battle. Let's find out. We're at 37% now. Now we're at 25%. All right. So now we need to continue to hold. Now these troops, this army is being resupplied here. All right. The Mysore fleet has bailed out again. Now, what sort of troop transport capacity does this fleet have? This fleet should have the ability to transport the entire Snulf. Let's get an armed forces fella in here. Uh-oh. My pocket's exploding. Well, that was smart. I'm so smart. So if I remobilize the Snulf, I could bring them in. But let's continue to do. I'm not in any danger right. I'm not in any danger right now. Okay, there we go. I'm not in any danger right now. I can continue to replace units. So we'll see how things. We'll let things be for now. The play for power. Maeda Nariyasu, leader of the petite bourgeoisie, has made a remarkable play for power in the capital to secure a spot for the petite bourgeoisie within the government. However, it's not entirely clear if they should be rewarded for their novel tactics. There's only one light in the street that leads the petite bourgeoisie headquarters. There's also only one light inside. There Maeda Nariyasu relaxes among the sumptuous mahogany furniture and velvet cushions. The lamp is identical to those that have been sent from the east. The ends justify the means, and our means are very, very justified. It's difficult not to believe him when he offers an inviting seat by his side. He should be recognized for this, or not all's fair in love and war. I think he should be recognized for this. I think stronger petite bourgeoisie is good for me overall. Wow, the intelligentsia are crazy strong now. Now, what do I have? A rubber shortage. Despite having rubber plantations built in Brunei, they're not able to hire. And my only rubber capacity in Sumatra is in the occupied territory, which isn't going to help me much. I don't know how to solve this problem. Why can't you hire? But rubber is so expensive. Engines are expensive. Heck. I need to increase engine output. Well, the private sector needs to increase engine output. I don't need to increase engine output. Okay, they're proposing a peace deal once again. We are winning a defensive battle here. This force is... What if I raised a few conscripts? What if I raised a few conscripts just to give me a little bit of an edge here? That's not the button I want. Where's the conscripts button? Am I freaking dumb? Here it is. Okay. Whew. Let's just do... not siege artillery. Cannot raise conscript battalions while the army is overseas. Alright, well that answers that question. Let's get rid of those. Cool. Alright, well that makes that clear. So. Now I currently have 1.44k being used. I have 1.54k in the pot. And I have 142 supplying the fleet. So if I wait just a little longer, I should be able to mobilize another force and get them over here. And that should be fine. I should have the supply capacity for that. Artistic inspiration. Enthralled by the beautiful photographs produced by French artists, the intelligentsia have begun lobbying in favor of closer ties with the French Republic. French Impressionism. The words now seem to fit together as seamlessly as French wine or Chinese silk, acquiring a meaning greater than the sum of their parts. He could spend the rest of his life in this gallery, import enough masterworks to coat every wall in his home, and yet remain just as enraptured as he was when he first laid eyes on it. Each painting was a window into a culture he could spend a lifetime attempting to comprehend, each brushstroke driven by a vigor which had grown from a foreign seed. How much could he understand about the French Republic through these, if he merely had the time and ability? What culture? A pro-country party is created, a pro-country lobby is created, targeting the French Republic, or what culture? Intelligentsia gets surrounded by Philistines, minus 10% interest group strength. Do I want a pro-French group? I'm not sure. Yeah, that's fine. I can use that. This guy needs a promotion. I should give him sufficient whatevers to be able to get organization back. Alright. So I think once I win this battle, I'm going to go over to offense, and we'll see what becomes of that. I don't need to win that many battles to be able to move forward here. Alright, so this is a defensive battle once again. But we might kick off an offensive battle at the same time, which would be, I think, good for us. They're moving a lot of units around in the backfield there. We'll see what becomes of that. Alright, so here's our offensive battle. Alright, we are winning on offense. Excellent. Because again, I might not need to bring in another force. Now, if I go over to a defensive front now, when I finish this offensive battle, I should be able to stop and kind of resupply and get my morale back and all that. And that should be fine. I think morale only matters really for present battles. My troop strength remains pretty good. I am winning this defensive battle for the moment. This offensive battle is nearly finished. Okay, perfect. So now our occupation is up to 50%. So, morale is good. Troop strength is good. So we'll let this battle finish. No, you know what? Let's take ourselves back to an offensive stance. I think I can move forward. And then I can release this whole area as a subject. Uh-oh. Vicky 3? You good? You good? You're tearing me apart, Vicky! Yep, they want peace, but I think I can win. Alright, here is an offensive battle. Which it's still... Okay, alright, we're winning. We're winning. Very good. Beautiful. So as long as everything stays chill, as long as we stay chill, should be able to win here. Gosh, I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty. It's a little early in the morning for me. My household is on partial vacation, so I'm here by myself, chilling. So I'm recording a rare Victoria 3 session while the sun is up. All right, we're winning a defensive battle here. Army looks like it's looking good. Now, I'm going to give it a second to see. Okay. Morale's coming back at a rapid rate. Strength is still pretty high. Force comparison is not good, but things are looking okay. 75% occupation. Oh, from farms to factories is completed. Excellent. How's the investment pool doing? Investment pool is doing just fine. Road to progress. The Zaibatsu have expressed their satisfaction with the direction taken by the country and its newly built factories. There's only one possible direction, forward. Progress is like a train that doesn't stop, doesn't wait for anyone. You're either in or you're out. We've done this for our people, extra loyalists from political movements, or in mutual support that train stronger and happier Zaibatsu. Let's support the train. Alright, so here's an offensive battle which we are winning. Now if we win this, then we will have, I believe that will take us up to 100% occupation of this area. I'm going to set us back to at the front so that I don't see any kerfufflage. Okay, so this is good to know. This is good to know that I can win a war against Java. Now they're coming for me, but I'm fighting a defensive battle and largely winning. America is going after China to take Kuye, which I don't know where that is. Oh, Sakhalin, to take Sakhalin. Interesting. Very interesting outcome. We're not moving forward in designer clothes anymore, because we're not in the top 3 producers. Let's do a little market manipulation, try to figure that out. Construct a skyscraper completed. Wonderful. Let's finish out this battle, and then I'll look to that. And various other things. Telephone unlocked. Excellent. Ooh, so that means we're close to radio, which means we're close to siege artillery. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Alright, just waiting for this to sort itself out. And then we should be good to go. Alright, so now we have control over Sunda Isles. So, this battle is nearly done. Beautiful. So let's see how they feel. I'm going to keep this on reject. Okay, so that's going to be 12 days, so we'll leave that for now. So, America's going after China. American Sakhalin. What is going on over here? Nobody's got Sakhalin. What's wrong with you guys? Hold on. Am I dumb? What's going on here? It's this. It's this here. And this is Chinkuya. Oh boy. Interesting. America, why are you wearing? Actually, no. This... I need to look out for number 1 here. Alright. Touching the sky. Touch. Construction of the Kyoto skyscraper in Kyoto is complete. Dominating the skyline, it inspires all to gaze upon it. My skyscraper would not have been possible without the hard work and grit of the thousands of people who dedicated themselves to its construction. Of course, as chief engineer, I had perhaps more impact than most. I might even say the lion's share of the credit is mine. In fact, this pinnacle of human achievement, this new battle, was born entirely from the machinations of my mind. Look upon my work, see mighty, and despair. A magnificent achievement, extra prestige. Wow, Russia's really bounced back over time, it seems. Now how do... get these ships joining the fleet they're supposed to join? I don't know if I love how this manual fleet reinforcement thing works. We'll see. Alright, so now they're below 0 days left on this. Alright, give me Sunda Isles. Beautiful. So now I've won my war. So, Expeditionary Forces lost their general. Let's see. We've got an ethno-nationalist from the petite bourgeoisie. You're in. Promote. It's good. Alright, so once these ships rejoin here... Actually, let's have you transport the Expeditionary Force back home. And then once the first fleet is back together, they'll transport the back half of this group home. Now, I should be able to release... I don't need a Javanese army. Huh? Who's you? You know what? I shouldn't have did that. That was dumb. That was dumb, because that... well, I'm done. I'm dumb. It is what it is. So, release subject. Bali. Alright, wonderful. Release subject as subject country. Receive 2 provinces in the Sunda Isles region. Okay, sure. Right, okay, and now, reduce subject payments. Oh, you're not, oh, interesting, so I can't really, okay, well, that didn't exactly go as planned, because they're not the right culture, but I'm still going to grant them the Sunda Isles anyway. Because that was what I was releasing them for. And now I can disband this army. And now... this army can get transported back to... Why are you going back that way? No, I need you to move the armies. Alright, hopefully this works. Alright, they're going. They're going now. Alright. The Navy stuff, there's a lot. There's a lot going on there. I need to build up more capacity for clothes output. Which is a shame, because my finances are doing really well with no, with no construction. But it's fine. Do I have rubber capacity here? I do. Let's build rubber capacity here. In fact, I think rubber capacity in the Sunda Isles might... No, let's do the clothes. Let's do the clothes. I want to get to designer clothes. Mordvin, National Awakening in Tambov. Cool. How's my power block doing? Power block is increasing in cohesion as I increase relations with Sulu. I don't think I need any additional relations with Dainam. So, and that doesn't actually give me enough influence to improve relations with America at the same time anyway. Canada are interested to make... Uh-oh. Korean proletariat revolt. Well, what a bother. Hey, can you guys please get moving? Thank you. Man, the naval stuff, it takes a lot of babysitting, I tell you what. Alright. Actually... let's mobilize the expeditionary force. And I think we're going to put them in Korea to deal with this situation. We'll look at that diplomatic tour event in a second. Just need these troops to get home. An anti-American association. Really interesting. Alright, so now you... go to here, which you can just do. This army will mobilize and incorporate into the expeditionary force, because that's... they can't reach them. Hold on. Expeditionary force, you go here, you go here. So now you're together, you're friends. Okay, and now they've just gone ahead and merged. All right, beautiful. So now you can go to the front, and that'll be fine. All right, diplomatic tour. The ruling intelligentsia, led by the charismatic Kuroki Sukanori, has initiated a great promotional tour. The decision to focus efforts domestically or internationally has been left to the last minute, however, and it's unclear if the intelligentsia will do more for itself or for the country as a whole. Nothing wrong with a little self-promotion if it's for the right cause. Huh, and how would you determine the character of a cause? By how it ripens your purse? But by its very nature. Why, a cause of ragamuffins might well have a healthy effect in the state, if its heart is in the right place. The tour should draw up support for the intelligentsia, makes them stronger and happier, or the tour should draw up support for the Empire of Japan, extra influence. I'm going to go for the extra influence, because I need to improve relations with America. Ever-increasing influence. Members of the Japanese-French Society have discreetly dispatched one of their members to amplify their mission in the Empire of Japan's most widely read newspaper. The Japanese-French Society has calculated with utmost mastery the dissemination of materials to secure a foothold in both the political world and the public's imagination. With great satisfaction, a lobbyist comments, there is no denying that the number and reach of newspapers is ever expanding. This approach is sure to reach influential lawmakers to favor our scheme. It sets a bad precedent, salty intelligentsia, or this is ingenious. Japanese-French Society gets +1 appeasement but reduced legitimacy. I need to keep my legitimacy up, so this sets a bad precedent. Sorry, intelligentsia. You should have been chill. Alright, the expeditionary force is almost there. Their supplies are a little low. Alright, now. Again, I don't know what's going on with this fleet situation, but so let's call this. Now, what's this fleet's upkeep cost? It's 5K, so it's not that much. We'll call this Old Japanese Fleet. Just call this the New Japanese Fleet. How have I done this? How have I run us up to an uneven number of ships once again? How is it that I keep beefing this? You know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna take one iron cruiser from this fleet, one iron frigate from this fleet, and move it into the old fleet. This one hardly has. We're just gonna put it in the old fleet. What's wrong? What? Okay. I think I did it. All right. My weirdness has been satisfied. So, now we're at an uneven number of capital ships. So, let's go ahead and add. I don't like it that it keeps defaulting to that. Oh my god, did I build a bunch of? No, okay, I did the modern ones. All right, so we'll do that. Now, do I have any additional support ship templates? I don't. This is a pretty good force comparison. I'm feeling reasonably confident about the ability of the Expeditionary Force to do this. And this is a socialist revolt in Asha. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm going to send just the Snow to deal with that. The new fleet should be able... The two fleets together should be able to carry the entire force. Alright. So, now that that's rolling... This is a little surprising to me. But maybe we start... No, I feel confident in the ability of the Expeditionary Force to move forward. This number is frightening me. This number is doing me a frighten. I may need to go to some austerity measures. Now, what are we doing tech-wise? We're working on radio. Gonna put central planning in there after political agitation. Now this war has begun. We are winning on offense, so the force comparison numbers are a little bit wonky. Yeah, we're winning on offense. All right, I'm good. I'm good. Anti-American Association offers opportunity. The Anti-American Association has offered us an opportunity to acquire trade privileges from Mexico. Their proposal, if accepted, is designed to counter American interests. I'm paying a lot in subventions right now. I'm paying a lot for tool subventions right now. I need to cut that. I think I'm subvening tools too hard. Sorry, tooling industry. Wow. I'm not even on that's bananas. Okay, so what if I don't do this? Alright, sorry. I need to read this event. Hey, nitrogen fixation. Wonderful. It was a veiled sort of aggression, one which could, in theory, appeal to both ardent jingoists and those who preferred to mitigate losses. It would force the enemy to respond, possibly drive them towards a reckless confrontation, in response to a seemingly benign maneuver. A plan to fight the United States of America to the last Mexican, one minister remarked. The representative flushed. He had practiced responses along both lines, but none of them quite fit. We'd be happy to pursue this, or this is not in our interest. We'd be happy to pursue this. In fact, if they're down, I'm down. Would you pay me money for it? Would you pay me slightly less money for it? No. What about a moderate amount of money? What about a small amount of money? Man, I don't understand diplomacy in this game at all now. Let's try it. Well, Mexico doesn't produce any oil. That's weird. I thought Mexico produced a lot of oil. Don't have any ships I want. Treaty port? No. Alright, I still want to try to get a little cash. We'll see what happens. I don't understand why... So... It's 53 from diplomatic stance. If I go with a cash transfer... Take on my debt? No. That changes the diplomatic stance modifier to 23. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Hey, let's do it. We'll see what happens. 53%. They said yes. Wonderful. Behind bars. My outliner has lost its bottom. Behind bars. There we go. The arrest and alleged ill treatment of a disorderly protester affiliated with the Mahayana traditionalist movement has sparked resentment among his compatriots. Further demonstrations have been arranged, urging his release. So the Mahayana traditionalist movement is not strong or active. Prison was a miserable place. Iron bars, stone walls, and cold floors. In the past few weeks, the guards had taken to casually tapping their batons against the bars when they passed by, making sleep impossible. He could not even escape in his dreams, as the tension he felt in the waking world began to bleed into sleep as well. All this for pushing a policeman away? He'd regretted it at first. Now, though, perhaps he could say that every one of them deserved that and more. Perhaps an early release for good behavior could be arranged. Trade unions unhappy, but reduce movement activism, or we will not make exceptions because of some hooligans. They increase in activism slightly, and the Haymen become happier. I'm going to go with the second one. Java declared rivalry. Interesting. Are you still a major? You're technically a great power. Bananas. I had no idea. And so how's our market? Am I still exporting mass quantities of tools? Yes. Not as many as before, but still. Okay, well that's good. Let's take a look at our tooling industry. Now, some of our places are pretty low in efficiency. Let's go to machine steel for the rest of our tooling workshops in Japan. This is going to be an adjustment, for sure, but the government needs it. I can't keep paying for all these tools. I didn't think my subventions were having such a massive impact on the market. 2 arms. And this should provide a sufficiency of rubber for these things to function. Now, I think I'm going to go to... Oh, right. I have better fertilizer methods available. So let's go ahead and implement those. And I think we're also going to go to automatic irrigation for our plantations. This is going to make them much more efficient. Ignore those numbers. The numbers are pretending. Ignore them. Alright, so the revolt in Asha seems good to go. We're still working on Korea, which is a significantly larger revolt. Now, hey, investment banks, wonderful. Designer clothes is progressing now. Excellent. So let's remove the Snult back to Japan. Champasak is a British subject. Alright. Dainam is still a British subject. And I've got an engines shortage. That's okay. The private sector will sort it out. And in fact, I think I have enough construction capacity for that to increase. Let's not get too buck-wild here. We'll go with a 25% increase in the size of the construction sector. And the private sector will handle all of that. Alright, in fact, engines are good to go now. Well, wow. Oh, I was subvening the import of engines. Well, that was a mistake on my part. Let's go to a tariff. This should just wreck my economy. Alright, investment rights in Russia. No. Now, I am paying a lot in interest, but I'm spending a lot on ship construction. I could turn off ship construction. Wow, I'm paying a crazy amount in ship construction. If I... Okay, I'm seeing how this works a little bit more now. So I'm going to stop subsidizing my shipyards. So, let's see if this 99K disappears. The budget only says 21K in ship construction. So let's see what comes of this. There's that. Okay, so no, so it is the entire 99K. Alright, let's get these fellas back to Japan. Interesting. We'll take the old fleet. It's not going to matter. And China is once again in a revolt. This time it's a modernist revolt, and I think the Qing modernists are going to win it. What would they give us? An obligation. You know, if Java seems like they're going to side with the government, I might just go ahead and, these numbers are interesting. No, I think I need a period of austerity. So we'll leave ourselves in the quiet for the moment. All right, so we're chipping away at our national debt, and we're chipping away at it very, very fast. If I increase taxation, I could increase that stuff, but I don't think I necessarily need that. All right, we're almost at radio. Oh, I should build up a freaking electrics industry. Yeah, I know I got input shortages. Where's my motor industries? These should be being expanded much faster than they are. Let's manually build those up actually for a bit. And then, okay, private sector is building electrics industry, so that's good. This might be a mistake. We'll see. We'll see if it is. These are going very slowly because of low construction efficiency, but it's not that low. It's just the trade unions slowing things down. What does the market actually look like for engines? Yeah, if I double output, that should be enough to get us rolling at least. Yeah, I think I'm not going to get involved in the war in China. Okay, let's have this army take the new Japanese fleet back to the... I don't know why they're stuck all over there. Yep, still got an engine shortage. I get it. I'm building it up. It's going to be fine. I'm slowly ungoofing my fiscal policy here. Now, those of you who are paying attention, supporting the Javanese workers. We will support the workers in Java, boosting the power of their trade unions. Maybe we believe in the international cause of the working man, maybe we don't. In the end, it doesn't matter. What matters is that the Javanese trade unions get stronger. Now, Java is, at present, a council republic, are they not? But they don't have the trade unions in government. That's curious. Excellent idea. This would be ill-advised. An excellent idea. Do it. Do it. When's our next election? 1914. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Middle of next year is when it starts. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Icelandic national awakening. Very cool. Alright, so... getting our units back home. Our fleets are not currently expanding. Okay, so ship construction is really a little bit of a wonky... a little bit of a funny animal. I think I've got pretty rock-solid supply capacity at present. Once again, we'll put these ships into their... okay, never mind. Right, because they're on their way here. Looks like modernists are going to win. I'm going to start improving relations with them. Korea is chill. And there is the radio. So, let's get producing radios. Very nearly finished our motor industry expansion. Legislation imposed on Tidor refused. They didn't do that. Tidor, can you please get it together? Why are you boosting your obsoletist movement? Oh, you're trying to go to racial segregation. Well, that's fine. Okay, we're currently progressing forward on designer clothes. I'm very pleased with that. Our petite bourgeoisie are unhappy, and that has led to a bureaucratic shortage. Let's, what can I dial back here? I don't think I wish to dial anything back. So I'm just going to have to build capacity to handle it. This is probably... hold on. Nah, it's going to be forever to get to the telephone. How do I want to do this? I can cut electrical capacitors and railways. It's still going to take me a while. Or I could change my laws to make them happier. Oh, unstable government. That's not great. Progressive Party have got to be out, I guess. Okay, no one's really... nope. I'm not seriously considering going to agrarianism. I don't know why I asked. Only the trade unions care about that. what's the... You're a modernizer. You're... Wow. Maeda Nariyasu, you have been around a really long time. Happy birthday, my guy. Jeepers. Look at this 1.0 aged character. Bananas. What about you? What about you, rather? You're 66. Alright, so you're not going to be a modernizer that long, probably. But let's look at the modernization movement. Do I have a modernizer movement? I don't think I do. I suppose I do not. He's 100 years old and he's got cancer. Oh my goodness. I think this character's having a negative overflow of character health that has allowed him to simply continue to persist. Or maybe it's because of Buddhism. Maybe it's because he adheres so closely to the tenets of the faith. You know what? I think we're going to build taxation capacity to deal with this. I think that's the best thing to do. So, I think that's just what we're going to do. I'm going to intersperse a few of these into the motor industries, just to make them, get them kind of in there. I realize this is not the most efficient use of your time, but I'm a goober. Let's get us rolling again slowly, while I do this incredibly silly thing that I like to do. Is interspersing items in the construction queue efficient? Debatable. You know, in the words of Hamsar, you say tomatoes, I say you made amorts. That's everyone who was on the internet in 2005 is going to be very tickled by this one. Alright, I think that's enough interspersing. I think we're probably... I say as I continue to intersperse items. Alright, perfect. Nailed it. Alright, let's get our... Okay, armies are good to go. I think. Yeah, armies are good to go. Let's get fleets into fleets. And then we'll simply let her roll. Now, the communist and socialist movements have not popped off. I don't know how I get these movements weakened. I've got a lot of radicals in the nation. I got standard of living going up by a little bit, but it hasn't really helped. So here's administration being built up now. That should help with our finances just a little bit. We're still short on engines, but we're slowly getting to the point where that's not a problem anymore. Alright, administrative capacity is going up. Obviously, it's being slightly compensated. The cost saved from the administrative capacity is being slightly compensated by other stuff, but we're doing okay. Now, investment pool is still quite large. So if I go off of government construction for a while, I should be fine. All right, we're really getting there actually. With I think this is going to be a completely sufficient increase in the size of the bureaucracy. So hopefully this shouldn't be too big of a deal. And then we'll go off of government construction for a bit, and we'll see how things go. Actually, in fact, this number and this number together are making me feel really good, because Once we've got the administrative capacity, this number will be going way, way up. So we just unlocked the submarine. Submarines, I'm not sure how they work now. We got sea lane strategy spreading. That's very good. So reflecting on this run a little bit, should have an election pop, or no, the election's not going to pop up until the middle of next year. All right, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Okay, so I think I'm still going to need to build a little bit more governance capacity here, but I'm all right with that. Let's give it a few more weeks for them to fill out their employment. 12 standard of living isn't bad. Okay, still increasing in bureaucratic capacity. I think maybe a couple more levels might be ideal. And a new mandate available. Excellent. Let's merge our markets. Huzzah! Philippines, you're in my market now. Welcome. Oh, Spain did not like that. Alright. Let's go back to going quickly. And now we've got an election rolling. So once the week turns over, we'll see what's going on with that. Alright, it looks like I still need a little bit more administrative capacity. So let's build up a little bit of government in Tohoku, a little bit in Osaka, and a little bit in Kyushu. No, we'll go with a little bit in Tokai. And that should be good. Election season. Right, Constitutional Party still got a lot of momentum, which is a surprise. Constitutional Government Association got quite a bit of momentum, but they've got the Zaibatsu in them as well. Okay, so from here, we're going to max the Constitutional Government Association, because they're going to be our most effective way to maintain conservative government. Secession in Eastern Europe. The Tallinn Uprising. Interesting. So, once our governance capacity is sorted out... Alright, private sector is building a bunch of motor industries as well, so that should be good. For whom the bell tolls. Here we go. It wasn't our 100-year-old, it was our 60-year-old. Hachisuka Mochiaki, leader of the Zaibatsu, was unexpectedly expired mid-campaign, robbing the Constitutional Government Association of a cornerstone politician. The question of his replacement is now on everyone's lips. Unexpected? Bah! That old bag of bones is long overdue to meet its maker. It's about time that party saw some new blood. Go with the popular but inept candidate. This gives them some momentum, or the determined but haughty youngster secures the chair. So, it doesn't say what the difference between the characters are. Either way, he dies. I'm going to go with the determined but haughty youngster. He's going to define their politics for a long time. So he's a jingoist. Interesting. Very interesting. So we'll see what that does to their momentum. I think that means they're likely to join the Imperial Party during their next shuffle, which would be just fine with me, frankly. Rubber shortage once again. But I'm not going to need to worry about that too much. Alright, we're good to go with respect to engines. Still importing a lot of cars. I still want our own rubber industry to take the majority of the rubber business. Maybe I take some time to build up rubber plantations in Tidor. Maybe that's the right call. The party favorites. The wing of the Constitutional Government Association affiliated with the Petite Bourgeoisie has raised complaints about Shimazu Tadashige's support of choice of endorsements, leaving their supporters neglected. So this is the new guy. Yes, this is the new guy. I must levy a concern now that it has come to my attention. Whilst Shimazu Tadashige's actions are undoubtedly well-intentioned, the recommendations contained thereof seem to exclude certain members of the party who have demonstrated more than sufficient vigor, goodwill, and surety of purpose. Listen to their concerns and appease the petite bourgeoisie. 20% momentum for them, and he gets a lot of popularity. Or appeasement, though they know it was intentional. Zaibatsu stronger, petite bourgeoisie weaker. Let's go with the first one. Again, we're trying to get their momentum up and the Constitutional Party's momentum down so that we can improve the situation. This is a lot of building at a time where I said I wanted to focus on austerity, but, you know, I'm feeling pretty okay. Getting rubber capacity up is still good overall. I think there's more... Okay, yeah, we're building all the rubber capacity in New Guinea. A rational discussion. While meeting to discuss ideas, Kujo Takeko and Yamakawa Nariaki enjoyed a civil and enlightening conversation. Most expected a brawl. Some say opposites attract, and others say opposites repulse. A few understand that one of the natures of opposites is change. Fire and water to steam, spark and gunpowder to explosion, heat and ore to metal, and so it is with a good faith debate. A leap in thought to form fresh ideas. Liberal civility is the way forward. Extra momentum for the Constitutional Party. Increased electoral confidence by 3%. Kujo Takeko's conduct ought to be commended. He becomes honorable, which is... As a ruler, reduced piracy income, 25 popularity, interest group leader, increased attraction of interest groups in government. Curious. Electoral confidence is increased by 6%, but momentum is only 10%. Or even the opposition should be heard. Extra momentum for the Constitutional Government Association. Japanese electoral confidence is increased by 3%. I'm going to go for this third one. Once again, I'm gonna focus on giving the conservatives the momentum they need to get back into the lead here. What I want to do is bump down the Constitutional Party's momentum. We'll see how that goes. How are things going in Cambodia? Let's go ahead and reduce their autonomy so that I can start fixing up their laws. We'll reduce subject payments, obviously. We always do that. Now, Cambodia. Please get off of traditionalism. Can't get to agrarianism. Well, interventionism is equally likely. What about laissez-faire? Can't do that. Please go to intervention. They're trying it. Partisan papers. Party-affiliated newspapers have been proliferating during this election season. Publications associated with the Constitutional Government Association have been particularly effective in spreading the party line. Read all about it. Honest politicians attacked by shameless cowards. Leading candidate for office issues heartwarming appeal to the common man's heart. Man on campaign trail pets a puppy. Read all about it. The Constitutional Government Association has used the papers brilliantly. 10% momentum for them. Newspaper circulation is through the roof. This is a boom for publishers. Extra paper mills throughput. Or it is in the state's interest to limit the spread of lies. Reduce momentum of the Constitutional Government Association. I'm going to pick the first one. I want them to win. The third one's available because we've got censorship. Cash flow's looking pretty good. Investment pool's still increasing in size. We're realigning the economy a bit. I definitely... well, the tooling industry has gone back to being mostly profitable. Okay, they are slowly reducing their size, but that's okay. That's okay. That's reasonable. That's going to help with the rubber shortage, which is kind of chronic at this stage. All right, engines are doing well though. Coal is short. I gotta stop. I gotta. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, so this is the interest group wants resource event. This shouldn't be here anymore. This is like I don't have direct control over trade policy. Yeah. You know what? I'll set up a paper import. A tumultuous campaign. While campaigning for the Constitutional Government Association in Terminal Iraq, Japanese Azochi, Muhammad Haisim Tajul has been attacked and brutally beaten by a group of unknown assailants. He is a traditionalist associated with the daimyo. When the crowd cleared and the screaming stopped, all that was left in the street was his prostrate form, bruised, cut, and barely recognizable as the titan he had represented not 5 minutes before. Some rest recuperation would be best. He becomes scarred, but they lose 20% momentum. Get back to the trail right away. He becomes wounded. They get 20% momentum. Or, of course, we know who it was. It was us. He gets wounded and shell-shocked, reduce electoral confidence by 5%, 30% momentum subtracted from them. I'm going to have him get back to the trail right away. That's going to give them an even bigger hit of momentum. Again, I would love to reduce the momentum of the Constitutional Party, but I don't have the ability to do that at present, so now I'm going to stop building and chill, and hopefully the private sector will work on things. Now, paper I really can just produce myself, but I'm doing austerity right now. I'm austerifying. I'm paying a lot in interest, and I want to chip away at my national debt, which is pretty reasonable, actually. I'm clearing about $250,000 of national debt per week. So that means a total of $1 million in 4 weeks, which is, $13 million a year. I've currently got a credit of $21 million, so this is only a couple of years of austerity, and then we'll be good to go. And there's the election. So, well, worst of both worlds. Let's go with this. Let's drop taxes. No, we need to keep taxes high. And now we have a progressive party. What has happened? What happened? Okay, well, I'm not sure what happened exactly, but we're going to go back to the Constitutional Party, I guess, because something happened with the Zaibatsu and the Progressive Party and some nonsense. In case the armed forces are going to feed over into the Constitutional Government Association, the Zaibatsu are going to form a progressive party, and we're going to see what becomes of that. That's weird. I'm not sure what to make of that. On the plus side, our communists are, despite being pretending to be on the path to a civil war, they're not popping off, which I'm feeling pretty okay about. Now let's take a quick look at our rubber industry. Oh, right. Let's take a quick look at our rubber industry and see how those plantations are faring. We have quite a few, but many of them are having a hard time hiring. Oh, Philippines has rubber capacity. I hadn't even thought about that. That was silly of me. Not all that much of it, though, to be honest. I could build up all of this. But no, I want to stay in austerity. I want to stay in austerity for the time being. I think this is reasonable. We're doing a really good job of chipping away at our national debt, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. China's still holding a front over here, which is an interesting animal. Cambodia is working on interventionism. They haven't had any progress yet, but, it's a process. It's a process. I think I'm going to queue in... Wait. I'm making a mistake with this. I need to be starting at the fleet. Oh, National Defense Force needs a leader. Let me see. Let's go with this Armed Forces fella. More rubber in North Borneo. Wonderful. The new Japanese fleet. Put that into the queue. And... okay, I do have... let me check out... I have submarines available. Submarines are very slow, though. Alright, interesting. I'm not going to build submarines. Instead, I'm going to build... Alright. So this is our new mod, but... let's edit it. The modifications. Oh, advanced explosive. Extra critical chance. That's fine. And we'll go ahead and add 5 of those. And now we'll continue to chill. We'll continue to chill. Should I have a fleet? Not really. I could probably steal Taiwan. And Qingkuye, frankly. Frankly, I could probably steal these territories if I wished. Be interesting. I haven't increased the size of my armies for a while. Now, I think actually the Snulf... So, I think here's how this works for fleets. I think this number is the number of Marines they can carry, and then this is the number of other troops they can carry, but I think Marines can use regular troop carrying capacity. Which means, I think my new fleet... If I increase the size of my Marine Corps a little bit, my new fleet would still be able to carry the entire thing. So I might go ahead and do that. Coup in Brunei. Interesting. Who's running things now? The landowners, industrialists, and petite bourgeoisie. Interesting. Alright, let's try and get them fully to intervention. Cambodia is still working on that. How's the power block going? Ooh, designer clothes completed. Wonderful. So, now we're rocking designer clothes, so that's going to really help with our economy. I'm really liking this number. Really, really liking this number. In fact, our national debt is... We're doing a very good job of chipping away at our national debt at this point. I don't know why I don't know why all of my trade was down in the south. Yeah, in fact, trade has started to expand all over the country. Yeah, I don't know why that happened the way it happened, but it did. Going for electrical capacitors now. We're almost at electric railway, which is going to be really, really good for us. With our private sector, with our electrics industry producing radios, which they should have quite a bit of now, I should have the ability. Let's actually start increasing our artillery to siege artillery. Because siege artillery requires a radio's input, or at least it did used to. Yeah, it still does. Alright, and that's going to kick off our electrics industry. Let's go ahead and do the same over here. And we'll do the same over here. Beautiful. So there's electrical capacitors. So now we can produce... Oh, I had a better method for explosives industries. I don't know why I didn't implement that. Probably because it wasn't profitable, but it will be. It will be in time. You just think you're not profitable. You're so profitable. You're profitable as heck. Manifest! 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 Alright, pure silliness. Let's get labor-saving methods rolling for our arms industries. Now, what the heck was I doing? This. Electric sewing machines. I'm going to do this. Alright. I'm going to do this, and then we're going to pursue an aggressive electrification policy. So, where do we have unstable government? Oh, right. Yes. No, I understand that. All right. Where do we have electricity shortages? Probably everywhere, but let's be more concrete about it. So Tokai, we're getting 50 levels of electricity per 50 units of electricity per level. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Akushinetsu, we need 1, 2, 3 more. Osaka, we need 2 more to flex up. Kyoto, 3 more. Shigoku, 5 more. Let's not electrify the Empire yet. Um, I also don't need to worry about that. Kyushu, 5 levels. Kanto, 3 more levels. Nansei Shoto, we're good. Alright. And then we'll worry about areas with shortages afterward. Areas outside the Empire, that is, outside of Japan. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize Azochi was on traditionalism. Golly. What a bunch of silliness. Yeah, they're going to agrarianism. Excellent. Intelligentsia petition government. Kuroki Sukanori, the charismatic leader of the intelligentsia, has approached the government with a plan to enact a total separation of church and state. A successful enactment is certain to contribute to his reputation as an effective politician. A word, please? The minister, halfway out the door, startled at the sound. A man stood in the hallway bearing a leather-bound dossier. Kuroki, he knew. His appearance was unmistakable. Yes, of course, he said. Should I? Kuroki gave a nod and handed over the folder. At least 100 pages, judging by the weight. I'm looking to raise the first draft tomorrow, he said. I would be honored to have your support. We'll see what we can do. Roost enactment time. Intelligentsia will expect the government to pass total separation of church and state. Offer them propertied women as a compromise. Or they must understand the present situation does not allow for this. I'm going to pick the third one. We're not going to do it. We're maintaining our traditions. All play and no work. Brigadier General Nagaoka Gaishi's personal habits are starting to get in the way of his role as Brigadier General. Nagaoka Gaishi smiles at the officer, exultantly, avidly. His eyes have obviously seen better days. Carefully recumbent on his leather armchair, his voice comes out as rubbery as the material. It's a stressful job, you know. No need to make it even more stressful. So which guy is this? He's our authoritarian. He's leading the Snulfies aligned with the armed forces. Fire him. The Snulf deserves a real leader. Let's go with this guy. He's imposing and a traditionalist commander. He'll be fine. Obviously, this is going to slow down our dealing with our national debt to a certain extent. How much are we paying? Who are we paying for this? The Convention of Valence. I know that's not right. Who do I... This one. It's for a defensive pact. That's fine. I'm chill with that. I do like defensive pacts. Standard of living has spiked, which is very nice. And has this been reflected in the loyalist radical comparison? Not really. Oh, and actually we're an insufficient crew, but what if, to deal with this, Can I retire ships? Retrofit? Alright. There is a decommission button. So, in fact, we'll start actually by decommissioning our old capital ships. And there isn't a way to we have to go in and do it manually one by one. Which is not the most efficient process, but it is what it is. Cool. Feminism. Wonderful. Organized crime. Not so wonderful. Criminal organizations have begun operating in Nansei Shoto. It doesn't matter if we arrest one person or solve one crime, it will keep going unless we go all the way to the top. Put some funds into stamping out the organizations, 18K in expenses, or ensure the authorities can handle it, minus 10% authority. It's cheaper to spend the authority and to cut a consumption tax. So, I'm actually going to tick up the first power plant in a lot of these areas to the top. Just to get those rolling. Because I want them finished. I want to expand power capacity a little bit as fast as possible. Now, I do have the ability to start up a new company. I could have an electric company. Oh, interesting. Alright, let's go with available. See what we can get. Oh man, I would love to have extra bureaucracy. Let's do it. Ooh, automatic bottle blowers. That's exciting. Japanese paper. Let's give you investment rights. I got 4 out of 5 free company charters, so the alternative is logging camp. Let's give you logging camps capacity. China wants trade privileges and investment rights for trade privileges and investment rights. Let's negotiate. Okay, you're primarily here for the investment rights. Well, you'd be fine with just trade privileges. Interesting. Take my power block embassy. Wonderful. Now, hypothetically, you're fighting Britain. Britain wants a bunch of things. Golly, gee, well... No, you want a bunch of things from Britain. How curious. Well, you get them, China. Wait a minute. This might actually be a good opportunity to go after the Brits. Unfortunately, my relations with the Brits are too high. So I'll just have to leave things where they are for now. Put a couple of government buildings in the top just to make sure that I've got some bureaucratic capacity to handle all the things I need to handle. Oh boy. Power plant situation. I shouldn't have done this all at once, but it is what it is. Cambodia, how are you doing with your internal garbage? They didn't do interventionism. Well, that's a shame. We'll see what else we can get them up to. Oh my goodness, Tidor, please get off of traditionalism. I am begging you to get off of traditionalism. It's hard being an imperialist who wants the best for my subjects. And allies. Alright, they're working on it. They're working on it. Man, traditionalism is terrible. My nerds, it's just brutal. It's so freaking brutal. It's bananas. Now, where are we in tech? We're working on electric railways, and then we're going back to society. Alright, so... with society... yeah, our goals are political agitation and central planning. When's our next election? January of 1918. So, let's look at the timeline. 10 months. This will probably take 22 months. Okay, so that's spreading, though, so that'll be faster than that. Anarchism... oh, interesting. So this is giving us the total. All right, so it'll be a bit, but if the conservatives can win back a majority, oh my goodness, a Qing radical revolt. Golly, things are really tough in China. Mysore sides with Burma. Okay, hold on. I need to figure this out. What is this? Burma. What the flag is this? Oh, theocracy. Interesting. So that's a Shan uprising. I don't need to deal with that. Well, I'm going to improve relations with the radicals in case they win. Let me see, I got 3 hundo. I'm already maxed out with the Americans. Let's improve relations with the Mexicans for now. Let's see how things go with that. Mexico seems a lot stronger than they often are. In fact, wait a minute. Mexico's right below me in the Great Power Rankings? That's bananas. Mexico. Amazing. I'm going to unpause. Uh-oh. Brunei is having an anarchist revolt? Yes, they are. Sight bike. Alright, so. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to mobilize the Snolf. You know what? I am actually going to split the Snolf in half. So we're going to call you the first Snolf. We're going to call you the second Snolf. You're going to get a general. Let's go with this petite bourgeoisie guy. We'll mobilize just the second Snolf. And we'll have you go to this front. I'll have you take the new Japanese fleet to get there. And now we're in a decent cash flow balance while fully constructing, but also while building ships. And then, how much ship construction capacity do we have? We have 265. And I could have more, but only about 30k more. I'm going to move to 50% supply ship construction at the moment. And we'll focus on building up the fleet. And we'll see how that goes. Karen National Awakening in Pegu. Alright, so this group should be more than sufficient for that. They have attrition. I think they only have attrition because they're exiled. I think that's what's going on. I think they're exiled. Yeah, there we go. So they shouldn't have attrition anymore, right? Yes. All right. Perfect. Perfect. I got it. I nailed it. All right. I gotta change my paper import policy. Paper. Light import subventions. So that should solve this. That'll make the intelligentsia happy, which is fine. I really don't like that event, as you can tell. It would be nice if when you built a new fleet, all of the ships went into the new fleet. That would be nice. I'm actually doing a lot better in standard of living than I have been doing. Continuing to remain at peace and focus on building up my economy has been effective. I'm still only number 6 in GDP. I'm close to overrunning China. Oh no, that's an illusion, because half of China is, yeah. Yeah, that's okay. I think finishing out a bunch of tech research and production has been the right call, generally speaking. Now, I'm going to continue to leave the... Now, why is this number going way down? Okay. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but let's go ahead and we'll subsidize the shipyards again, because that's... I don't really have a better plan for that, but I'm trying to build up. Alright. Black gold, black money. An inquiry has revealed that the government politician Koroki Sukanori's recent wealth has been accumulated through bribes from oil companies, allowing them to lease land without bidding. In an investigation like this, there's a way to know the... Sorry, let me try that line read again. In an investigation like this, there's a way to know you're on the right track. It's that records of what you look for start to go missing. The harder you look, the more disappears, until it appears as if a man conjured his fortune from nothing. Once you force them to make it look like magic, you can start figuring out the trick. We must make an example of all parties involved in the scandal. Okay, so I'm going to explain how this event works. We can piss off either our Zaibatsu or our trade unions, and then we can either lose some legitimacy or fire this guy, Sukanori. So Sukanori is the land reformer leader of the intelligentsia. Let's piss off the trade unions, and we'll fire him, because I don't want to lose legitimacy. Interesting. So now there's a market liberal in charge. All right, we'll swap over to the Constitutional Government Association. Her fertile ground. Yusuf Diriyeh has apparently decided the Empire of Japan would be an excellent place to live, given the influence of the intelligentsia in the country. Empire of Japan, what a land of opportunity. Such a grand nation, so ready for my message. Yes, I will set off for this grand country at last. There's no reason to stop him from coming. He joins the country. Even if it upsets the intelligentsia, we must prevent his arrival. This makes the intelligentsia pissed off. Or, it sounds like the intelligentsia is fostering subversives. This we've got available because we've got censorship. This weakens the intelligentsia. Let's go with that third one. Now that we've got the conservatives back in power. Can I get any more government legitimacy? Except by lowering taxes, which I don't wish to do. I may still have to. I'm going to. We're still doing okay cash flow wise. I'm almost not in debt, frankly. Alright, there's this Brunei situation sorted out. I don't want to lose any legitimacy. Freaking completely torpedo my legitimacy. Alright, I'll bring those fellows back. A disreputable bookkeeper. A bookkeeper. I forgot there was a booing bark. Oh, that's so silly. A bookkeeper in the government administration employed by the Japanese French Society is under investigation for bribery. The committee leading the investigation gathered to consider the facts collected. They argue over the scandal. I understand the Japanese French Society benefits from a close relationship with the lawmakers of the Empire of Japan, but these lobbyists cannot be authorized to pledge any amount of money to ensure successes. The Japanese French Society is responsible for agents they hire. This decays their appeasement by 1, but it gives me some extra legitimacy. Or perhaps it was just a clerical error. 5% of bureaucrats pops in Kyoto become more loyalist, the intelligentsia become happier. I'm going to go with the first one. Maybe it's time to stop suppressing these communist and socialist movements and have myself a little civil war. Wow, looks like the Qing radical movement's pushing forward. Although I guess part of that's that that China, the government of China, is also fighting the British. So we'll see what comes of that. Hey, you want to go to the place? Go to the place. Stop it. Please visit a location. Okay, we're having a problem here. What if we send the old fleet to do it? I'm really hoping this works, because if these fellas are stuck in Brunei, that's a huge kerfuffle. Oh, actually, my investment pool is increasing in size while while I'm not constructing, and you all know what that means. It means I can increase the size of the construction sector by another 10 levels, which I'm delighted with. Nice. Alright, perfect. That's where we want to be. Now they're going down, but only by a little. I could probably increase it further, in fact. But let's wait till these are fully employed before I make that call. Oh, I love water. Oh, I love water so much. Hydration is important, friends. Alright, they're getting there. They're getting there this time. So now the new Japanese fleet can return. Burma is a British subject. You know, no, Tigray has almost taken over all of Ethiopia. That's fun. You know, no one's gone after East Africa yet. But that's not really my area. I'm trying to keep Asia free. Java, my rival, somehow still a great power. Let's bring the fleet back to Japan. You know, that's not that much investment pool reduction. I think I could use a little bit more investment pool. And there's sea lane strategies. Ooh. This unlocks some very good new ship types. Very, very good new ship types. Ooh. Swaggy. And there's electric railways. Wonderful. So, let's be a little bit more conscientious this time around. You need to go into the new fleet. Where is the new fleet, by the way? They're over here. Alright, perfect. So, do we have a new... Okay, I'm actually going to unqueue these torpedo boats because I now have access to... Hold on. Didn't I... torpedo boat destroyer. Here we go. Wait. Hold on. Excuse me. Sir, sir? Does not torpedo boat destroyer mean destroyer? Or modifications. Fire suppression would be nice. Yeah, fire suppression, that's fine. 100 screening, that's very good. Okay, so the game does very much say we want you to be at over 100% screening. Okay, so torpedo boat destroyer, this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's build 10, actually. We're still at insufficient crew. So we'll grab the old fleet now, and we'll continue to decommission older ships. Are we still at insufficient crew? How bad is it? It's not that bad. Let's give it a few weeks to see if that... Okay, so now that's sorted itself. Alright, beautiful. How is the investment pool doing? They're doing okay. They're going down now. So, I just got electric railway. So before I goober myself, we're going to need 30 electricity per level of engine industries. So in Tohoku, we're going to need 150 for each 5. Math. We're going to need 480, which means realistically 9 levels of electricity, and Tohoku 10. So Tohoku 11. So Kyushu 9 and Tohoku 11. And what we're going to do is we're going to throw in a few more levels of construction industry in Tokai at the top of the queue, and then we are going to throw half of the Kyushu ones at the bottom of the queue so that they're kind of split in half. Alright, beautiful. That should be just fine. Once we get done with the first half, we'll convert over the electrics industry. Or not the electrics industry, the motor industry. Be prepared. Sure. I claim credit. I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. This is... I don't know why I'm doing a bunch of gestures as though I've got a camera on me. I don't. Yeah, unstable government. Yeah, I know. Can decrease autonomy of Korea, but I don't wish to. Korea is a largely independent nation. Low leverage? What on earth could this mean? Now, we'll leave them as a protectorate. I think I'm fine with that. We're basically not interfering in their autonomy. They're able to do as they wish to do, after all. I'm really below the Russian Empire. How much... Oh, interesting. I'm still on low government wages. That's funny. How long have I been in that? It's not that much. Let's do it. Let's bring government wages up to Midland. That's gonna make the country operate a little better as well. Alright, so the new Japanese fleet continues to increase in size. We are building these new pre-dreadnoughts. Now, do I have a better heavy template? I don't. I still have... Alright, so I am basically producing as modern ships as I can produce. I am subsidizing the shipping construction industry now, so that's providing quite a bit of subsidies. Let's go welfare payments. My population growth is bananas. I don't know what's going to come of these wars. I think Britain's surely going to win theirs. But I don't know how long that's going to take versus conquered Zungaria. Oh no, it is. So Great Britain's going to take a bunch of stuff. So this is Zungaria. All right, so that's kind of going to be a kerfuffle. All right, our first round is complete. Let's electrify the motor industries. They're just pretending. They're not really unprofitable. They're just pretending. All right, beautiful. So there's philosophical pragmatism. That's nice. Continue to privatize. So these buildings are not privatized. That's curious. Maybe I just never set them to privatize. Automatic bottle blowers. Let's do it. That's going to make them more efficient. Oh, you would like labor-saving methods, huh? Go for it. Connect 4. Wasn't even paying attention to that. Fireside chat. Emperor Meiji of the House of Yamato has decided to use the new and exciting radio technology to connect more directly with the people. It's like he's there in the room with me. It's hard not to be convinced. It should express authority, extra authority. It should make us look good. Zaibatsu happier. It should express authority. Didn't get me over the line, but that's fine. That's exciting. I got back to Midland taxation. I don't know, man. I feel like I feel like the country should be managing better right now, but that maybe is what it is. So this should deal with our electrical, our engine shortage. What on earth? I am chock full of glassworks. I should not be buying glass from abroad. My glassworks should be producing an overwhelming abundance of glass. I may need to go down to ceramics. Yeah, alright. Let's frickin' double the size of the glass industry, I guess. Just build a whole mess of glassworks. Let's expand the electrics industry by at least a little bit. Oh no, that's being expanded by the private sector already, so that's perfect. That's good. Now tech-wise, right, we're knocking out the tier 2s. And then after that, let's go to military, and... Wow, we're basically done with the tier 4s at this stage. Wargaming is going to have spread by then. Based. So let's snag NCO training after that, and that'll get us up to squad infantry, and that'll be really good. Yeah, feeling really confident in my ability to do stuff. Man, the temptation to steal Taiwan from China has never been higher, honestly. Unless Great Britain's currently going for it, which they might be. They're not. But again, China does not have much of a fleet. This would be... No, I don't... I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm trying to roleplay. I can't just start breaking off bits of China like a Western imperialist. That's not what we do. We don't do that here. Alright, so that's the end of their war with Britain. And we'll see who wins the war with the radicals. I would really goof their economy if I just took that stuff over. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I could probably stand to throw some artillery in the Snulf. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Marine capacity is 20, so I have 20 capacity for... So I have 41 capacity for other stuff. So I could put some artillery, and frankly some lancers in each of these marine armies and be fine. And I think that's the right call. I'm making this up as I go a little bit, so we'll see kind of what happens. But I think this is the right call. Because I think Marines do count as infantry for the ratios and all that. Now, I'm doing a lot better from a bureaucracy standpoint. I'm not sure exactly why. But I could go ahead and increase some of my institutions. Let's snag a little bit more law enforcement, shall we? Country solid. Now, what about our subjects? Tidor, are you still on traditionalism? No, you're going to interventionism. All right, beautiful. Brunei, you're on. You finally made it to interventionism. That's good. Send farmers to keep police force. You're doing all right. You're doing all right. Brunei, you have learned well. Brunei, it's time. Now, Asha, you've made it to interventionism. Bureaucrats, Atlantic Fleet, censorship, slavery banned, anti-strike laws. Yeah. Asha, you're also basically where we would like you to be. Alright, so now we have... Okay, but we're doing better now. Okay, constitutional governments in the... Oh, weird. Okay, hold on. Let me turn the week over so that I can see what's actually going on in our economy, and then, or in our election, and then I'll see what's happening. Okay, so the Constitutional Party is still in the lead. They're now just the Haymen and the trade unions. The Constitutional Government Association is second. They're the daimyo, the petite bourgeoisie, and the armed forces. Third are the Buddhist Party, who are just the Jisha. And fourth are the Progressive Party, who are the Zaibatsu and the Intelligentsia. Momentum is all right around 0. Interesting. So the Constitutional Party are still basically holding a solid, but the Constitutional Government Association could really clean up this election. Ooh, and we're hurtling towards craft paper. Hurtling, I say. You know what? This is mad. Oh, I need to have the authority in hand before I can spend it on that. Oh, man. What if I revoke your investment rights? And give you investment rights. There we go. That should be good. I'm always going to need more paper. I'm Japan. Alright. So. I'm pretty pleased. Tidor, how's your situation? Okay, you're hurtling towards interventionism. You have one setback. You're in the adoption phase, though, so that's good. The grand plan pays off. Mitsune Tadakuni, methodical leader of the G-Sha, has been studiously working to increase the nation's credit. At last, all his work has paid off, but for the G-Sha or for the Empire of Japan. The man is so pleased with his acts, he looks like he's about to burst into flames of contained emotion. How charming. Professionally speaking, though, not the most clever move. Yes, just as planned. The G-Sha shall reap the rewards, extra momentum for the Buddhist party, or the Empire of Japan shall reap the rewards, increased gold reserve limit, reduced loan interest rate. Oh, I do love low interest rates. You guys are ethno-nationalists. Let's give it to the G-Sha. As this might get us towards our nation, our culture, if we put the Buddhist party in charge, which we might. The Buddhist party and the Constitutional Government Association could probably align together to form a pretty legitimate heckin' government organization, I tell you what, with an H. In terms of technology, we're finishing out anarchism. It's giving us political agitation in weeks, which is... Oh, right, because it's giving us anarchism in weeks. Alright, so that's fine. So we might be able to get there. Yeah, the G-Sha and the Daimyo are both headed up by ethno-nationalists. So are the trade unions, surprisingly. Speaking on speech. Today's speech from Kujo Takeko focuses on the right of assembly and the efforts of the Constitutional Party to secure it. A crowd has flocked from all corners to hear it. No true discussion may be had while the law binds us to silence. How is it that we may call ourselves great and enlightened whilst we fear reprisal from the law itself? And for what? Our very words? Great and enlightened. A falsehood, I say. A lie, a travesty, a shameful display. He has a point. Extra momentum for them. Fetch the paper and ink. There's a law to draft. Extra momentum for the Constitutional Party, but not as much. Extra radical movement, pop attraction, don't like that. Those who wish to speak should know how and when first. Reduces the momentum for the Constitutional Party. 5% G-Sha pops become more radical. I'm going to go with that third one. 5% G-Sha pops being more radical ain't bad for me. Alright, so this means their momentum is down, which is very good. And in fact, the Buddhist party's momentum continues to increase. We'll see what comes of our present situation. It could potentially still be a close election, but if I can get the G-Sha locked in as with a single party, that might be very good. That might be very good, and that might allow me to run recklessly towards single party state. So this is 20 months here. We still have some unspent innovation over here. Literacy is leveling off a little bit, but it's continuing to rise. Corporate governance spreading, that's very good. I do like me some corporate governance. Don't love all this. Britain, are you at least becoming infamous about this? No, you're not. I'm curious. Because China is still unrecognized. Gosh. And Java remains a great power. That's bananas. I don't know what to make of that. We are still currently hurtling towards craft paper. Pressing issues. Beautiful. So now the question is, do I want to throw this momentum at the Buddhist party or at the Progressive Party? Oh, the Progressive Party's got the intelligentsia in it. So actually, I think I want to give this one to the Constitutional Government Association, because I think they're going to work with the Buddhist party best. The ongoing elections are intentional platforms of the various contending parties. Across the Empire of Japan, the electorate debates which party is worth trusting with the next term in government. The first thing I take into account is the safety of my investments. If a party would represent chaos, I may safely discount it. The stockbroker tapped his cigar on the rim of the ashtray and continued. The journalist took notes as he spoke. How will the incoming government's tariff policy affect my needed imports? Do they wish to impose taxes which may spur uncertainty? Do they wish to embark upon military adventures? Would these adventures be profitable or would they be ruinous? There is much to consider. I'm going to give it to the Constitutional Government Association. That is going to continue to bring their momentum up. Probably in line with that of the Buddhist party. Delicious water, and that will be just fine. How's ship construction queues? Ship construction queues going pretty well. I can stand to build some more coal mines. Coal has gotten pretty expensive in our market. Supporting the Javanese workers, we just got that event a little while ago. I'm going to do it again. Now, where have I got coal? I've maxed out coal in much of my nation, but there's plenty of coal capacity in Korea, as well as in Kyushu. So we'll max out coal production in Kyushu. We'll build no infrastructure in Yuan Mashir. But, let's see, let's build a little bit in... We'll max it out in Yeongnam, and we'll build a little in Gyeonggi as well. And then I'll get off my construction and let the private sector build. Interesting. Rome. I'm shocked we don't have an Italy at this point in the game. Oh my goodness, look at all this. Venezia, Lombardy, Romagna's still around. We got Piedmont. We got Sardinia, Piedmont. Oh my goodness, look at this. Amazing. French Republic has been coming up the boot. Oh man, it's the French Republic with a steel chair. Business of legislation. Increased sightings of anti-American association members socializing with lawmakers at restaurants and entertainment establishments are raising concerns about lobbyist conduct. A lobbyist hands a drink to a politician and pats him on the back. Liquid amber swirls in their tumblers. Jovially, he tells him, "Excellent. You are among friends here with the Anti-American Association. Now that matters about the United States of America have been discussed, let us set aside this talk of business for the rest of the evening. This indulgent behavior should not be tolerated. Reduced interest-group political strength for the trade unions and increased legitimacy, or the facts do not call for any action to intervene." I'm gonna, which appeases the lobby by 1. I'm gonna reduce the strength of the trade unions and make the and get the free legitimacy. I mean, that just seems like all benefits, no drawbacks. You know, I think during this war would have actually been a good opportunity to go after some of Britain's stuff over here, but I wasn't thinking about it. I should have been thinking about it, but I wasn't. Alright, so, let's change up the government, shall we? Yes, here we go. So, the Buddhist Party and the Constitutional Government Association ruling together. Now I have the ability to go to ethno-state. Interestingly, the petite bourgeoisie will be mad about that. Because they're headed up by their ancient modernizer, who's been heading up the party for like 100 years. Do I do this? This will piss off my Ryukyu national movement. But you know, F those guys. How long will it be before this? 17 months. I think this is still the right call for now. Now, there are lots of people I can negotiate with. I could negotiate with the petite bourgeoisie who are opposing at present. They're the strongest opposing group. Let's do it. After several rounds of terse correspondence, the petite bourgeoisie have met with the Emperor's representatives and outlined their demands. All legislation, all government, all society is founded upon the principle of mutual concession, politeness, comity, courtesy. Courtesy. Upon these, everything is based. Let him who elevates himself above humanity, above its weaknesses, its infirmities, its wants, its necessities, say, if he pleases, "I will never compromise." But let no one who is not above the frailties of our common nature disdain compromise. Place their members in administrative positions. Costs us some bureaucracy. I'm tempted on that one. Invest in light industries. 432 to 528. Now, what's light industries in this context? Talk to me. Food, textiles, glass, tooling, paper mills, shipyards. Easy. Political concessions, don't want to do that. Or none of these. Let's do the light industries one. Shabamzo. So, I got a bunch of coal mines in production. So what's expensive? Well, glass is still expensive in our market. Where is our... And obviously, I can export designer clothes until the cows come home. I can go to absolutely bananas export subventions for porcelain. But yeah, let's queue in some more glassworks. Wait, furniture manufactories are still only at like 20%? That's crazy. That's bananas. Hold on. Where am I with furniture? Is furniture expensive? Luxury furniture is expensive. That's wild. I don't think I've ever had a luxury furniture shortage. Where's my furniture? Staples, staples, staples. Wow. This is what we call a growth opportunity. Let's double the size of the furniture industry, shall we? Yeah, let's keep it rolling. Investing in light industry is a real easy phenomenon, a real easy commitment to keep. I tell you what. All right, now I've got a little bit of extra bureaucracy. The petite bourgeoisie are still feeling pretty... Oh, no, they're not. Never mind. No, I don't. It just hadn't reset yet. All right, a bunch of people have changed opinions. I've still got ethno-nationalists where I want them, though. So that's good. Now, are these guys going to support... No, they only care about the citizenship and stuff. So it's still going to be a little bit of a question about getting towards single-party state. But I think I can get there. I think I can make it happen. I can commit to increasing the size of the army, and that'll probably be sufficient for all our needs. Let's continue to increase the size of the shuttle. Let me see. Now I'm below my screening needs. Now I do have a new cruiser thing, don't I? Armored cruiser. Where's protected cruiser? Protected cruiser's not on here, so I think show obsolete. Yeah, protected cruiser is obsolete now. It's interesting. Oh, that's because that's troop ship. All right. Let's throw in some more armored cruisers. Let's throw in 10 more armored cruisers, and then for capital ships, we'll throw in 5 more of these pre-dreadnoughts. Do I have... No, I still only have that. Alright, oil rush subsides. With the groundwork of the Tohoku oil industry complete, its appeal and promise is waning amongst those seeking to carve out their own fortune. The nature of these operations is that eventually a few people hold all the cards. The industry lives on, but our hands are played. We are not among the few. But the oil will last forever. Oil rush forced on for 10 years. Increased oil industry mortality, reduced industry employees' standard of living, extra oil extractors employees, extra oil extractors throughput, reduced migration attraction, or shuffle the expertise into manufacturing, increase manufacturing throughput. I'm going to go with the second one. I feel like that's pretty obvious. So, with our light industry partially invested in, so we need about 100 levels. I've got 20 levels already queued in, so this should not be too complicated to achieve. I may subvene the export of clothes, but I may not. Paper is still also moderately expensive, so I can easily increase the size of the paper industry. Let's throw 10 levels into Hoku, 4 levels into Kanto, and 3 levels in Shikoku, and 4 levels in Tohoku. That's a 50% increase. It's probably more than needed, but it's still completely reasonable. Ooh, a new mandate. A new mandate. Let's increase some market unification. Oh, increase supply ship construction efficiency? Heck yes. I need supply ships like all get out. China, my friend. Let me give you an embassy. But also, power block embassy? Hold on. Here's where I need to be scrolling. Okay. Why can't you get a power block embassy? Because you can only offer this article once across all treaties. 'Cause I've already got one. Yes, I've already got one. Interesting. How can I increase my leverage with you, China? Dang. Can I get investment rates? What would you do? What would you do for a Klondike bar for investment rates? This would give me leverage generation. You would love to not have tolls. I am not making any money on tolls right now. I guarantee your independence. This would give me additional leverage, I believe. Yes. Alternatively, we could do a defensive pact. Which allow us to help each other. And I could throw a little cash in there to seal the deal. Let's do it. Second-class citizens. Stall event. Ryukoan people have spoken out against the passing of the ethno-state legislation, arguing that they deserve the same rights as other citizens. What has possessed the leaders of this nation to think of us as enemies? Have we not toiled together, suffered together, eaten at the same table, and lived as brothers and sisters up until now? Our children will remember a country their parents helped build, a country that treated them fairly, as a country that turned its back on them when overcome with bigotry and malice. It is not too late to turn back. Their noxious and foreign presence reduce an success chance. 10% of Ryukoan pops become more radical, or they're part of Japanese society but must be segregated, minus 20% success chance. Well, there's no better option here. I'm going to go with the first one. Dang. I need more enactment success chance. I can't get much. I thought for sure I had... Oh, because these guys are not in the government, and I don't actually have... I have a Japanese supremacist movement, but they're not contributing much. Interesting. Still, I feel confident in my ability to make this happen. Law enforcement's up to level 3, very nice. Craft paper still progressing towards completion. Art silk, wonderful. That's fun. How is silk in our market? Is silk not in luxury goods? It's in industrial goods. Yeah, I don't think we need to build more silk, TBH. But it's nice to have. Let me see, where else are we in tech? 12 months away from political agitation. Maybe I ran at this too soon. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm very happy with my ability to continuously build up my my industry and to have my investment pool increasing in size. That's very nice. Alright, so now we're going to start increasing our furniture output to meet the many and various demands of our market. Nice. How is our... We're still at number 6 for GDP. Are we closer to overcoming Russia? I think we are. Wow. Great Britain is below. Ah, I see. India is really pulled ahead, and Germany as well, which isn't shocking, I suppose. Still a good amount. Oh no, we don't have much advanced chance. This is wild. What? What? No! Ah, beans. Our ethno-nationalist that was leading the Jisha bailed. Cookie connections. Alright, I'm just going to mulligan this event. We'll do the second one, but we don't have any enactment chance anymore, so we'll just go ahead and cancel that. Okay, well, it was an interesting idea. How has this changed our... Now we're in an unstable government. Okay, curious. So now we've got some interesting options. I can keep the conservatives in control, or I can go with the progressives, or I can go with the constitutionalists. So the big question is, no one's going to get me to single-party state now. I've become goobered. I've been goobered. All right. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Ah, all right. We're all experiencing great silliness. We're pretty low overall in credit. I think our we've entered a virtuous cycle with our investment pool because I think they're buying a lot of the I think the Zaibatsu are buying up a lot of the stuff that we've set up here. Now I could change like my navy model. Like I could go back to Capital Fleet now that hardly anyone I care about would oppose it. Well, they would put some resistance in, but I've got really a lot of support in this current setup. Now I could move in with the... So the Petit Bourgeoisie 18%. I'm going to leave it for now. Again, if I can get the Zaibatsu and the Petit Bourgeoisie together in one party, like by themselves, that would be great. But it seems like that's a little bit of a hard ask. Delicious water. All right. Tidor, how are things going? Still dealing with the previous law imposed on them. Okay. What about you, Cambodia? You're working on religious schools? That's fine with me. Asha? You're fine. Oh, right. I increased your autonomy so that I don't need to. I can't believe this. Right, you're using all my laws. What if I stole more of Bali? Or of Java? I could probably afford to. .4 infamy to regime change them. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a bit longer. I'm still working on other stuff. I can't believe I committed to this and then the frickin' G-Shot double cross. I never should have put the G-Shot in power. Never. I was a fool. I was a fool. Oh my goodness. What a silly situation. That's okay. Once I unlock the fascist movement, I'll be a little bit more able to I'll be a little bit... I suspect that a lot of these radicals will support the fascist movement once there is a fascist movement to support. And that will allow me to better capitalize on this other stuff. This is also going to make things better for the Zaibatsu because I'm building up a lot of light industry, and it's going to make my Jisha happier. I'm getting a lot of difficult politics due to radicalization, I must say. I have an anarchist movement, which is interesting. Language in the classroom. Han students sometimes use their native language in Japanese schools. Some call for teachers to penalize the use of these languages, forcing children to speak the official language of the Empire of Japan. You've noticed it too, right? He gets angry when anyone talks in class, but he always gets angrier when we're talking. Maybe he thinks we're talking about him. I think he just doesn't like being reminded that we know something he doesn't. Schools should teach them to speak the proper language. "73% chance," Azuchi says yes if I annex them. That would get... Where'd it go? I had a journal in... Weird. Oh, maybe it's because I don't have any ethno-nationalists in my country anymore. Or maybe it just... No, I do. I do still. Maybe it's because I don't have ethno-nationalists in the government? I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I've been doing just fine with Izochi being where they are. So we're fine. We're fine. Tidor, please ungoof your country. Oh, they're going for freaking migration controls. Gosh dang it. Well, I mean, they're opening the borders, technically. Lobbyist lectures in Kyoto. A man employed by a powerful member of the Anti-American Association is delivering lectures and pamphlets addressed to targeted constituencies in Kyoto. One lawmaker writes to a fellow politician, "Each day he finds me. I know not how. I am quite disturbed. What are his aims? That hired emissary of the Anti-American Association haunts the doors of the Japanese Assembly, much like the ghost of the murdered Banquo. Make it clear lobbies are responsible for the emissaries they hire, extra legitimacy, weaker trade unions, or any concerns about the emissaries' behavior are unfounded, stronger trade unions. Lobbies are responsible for the emissaries they hire. Give me that legitimacy. Get out of here, trade unions." I still think I'm going to stick with my conservatives in the government. I think we're doing just fine here. I think we're doing just fine here. Persia independent? No, they're subject to Great Britain. Man, Great Britain really just they really just hurtled out ahead of everyone. I am getting there towards Russia. I think if I continue to increase the size of my military, I'll be able to overtake them. But focusing on increasing the size of my economy is never the wrong call. Still in position number 6, but hurtling towards what Russia's at. I could build more construction sectors. I think I will. I think I will, because I can afford it. These will get done real fast. And I think my investment pool will definitely be able to make use of the extra cash flow. And that's what I have to kind of remember about this situation. Who are you going after? Germany? Morocco? Bananas. How could you? Morocco backs down. Well, that's not shocking. Now, if I go absolutely... Excuse me? You want 10 artillery for 500 steel. I mean... Sure. That seems like an excellent deal. Yeah. I feel like I made out like a bandit on that a little bit. Wait a minute. What? Why? Weird. Alright, I'm not sure what to make of that. Maybe these are two separate treaties? No, doesn't look like it. Curious. I truly don't know what to make of that. Ooh. Oh, one of my socialist movement finally detonated. Wonderful. All right, so that means I can put in a new consumption tax, and it's going on transportation. Unless, of course, I need to suppress the anarchist movement now, which I might. There's not really a lot I can do to make them happy with my current setup. You know, actually, I think that's actually what's happening. I think I need to suppress this movement. They're too stunk. Once I get a fascist movement, that's gonna drain, I think, a lot of the support out of these other movements. But until then, I gotta stay where I'm at. All right. So I think, yeah, my current goal is to increase the size of the light industry. I think that's reasonable. I'm still at a very healthy amount of government. I have a lot of nationally owned building levels, but I think I'm basically privatizing anything that matters. Would you be more profitable with Rayon? At least a little bit. Sure, go for it. Connect 4. Yeah, you seem to like that better. Electrics Industries, let's keep you privatizing. Commerce Industries, let's hold where they are. Increasing the size of the electrics industry must be profitable at present, right? Yeah, oh yeah, it definitely would be. And there's political agitation. So, should have me a fascist movement before too long. Let's just go ahead and increase... We'll just build a few levels in here. These should be ready to start being constructed pretty soon. So we'll leave that be for now. Now this doesn't include... Light Industries doesn't include electrics. Again, I'm baffled that tooling workshops are in Light Industries, because tooling is often what you need. Like, I think of tooling as... Ooh, excellent. NCO training. I think of tooling as the industry that allows you to increase your rate of industrialization, and that's heavy industry. Oh yeah, let's go to electric trains. Completely forgot about that. We're gonna need more power plants in that case, but let's privatize the power industry. Now, training methods, streamlining. Must have invented NCO training. Oh no, I just got this one, right? Yeah, probably something like that. Anyway, it doesn't. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm so good at video games. Yeah, so we're rapidly hurtling towards completing our economic initiative. I'll probably be able to rely on the investment pool to do the rest. Now, I do have investment rights in China at this point, I think. Yes, so I should be able to successfully eat any and all profits from their side of the country. Ooh, interesting. The Russians and the Brits and the Germans are all fighting. That's curious. Does Great Britain still have a defensive pact with the Germans? Not only that, an alliance as well. Well, gosh dang, that's quite a that's a tough nut to crack. I tell you what. Tell you what. All right, so Protests across Tokai. The communist movement has organized mass protests across the Tokai region. While the protests have remained peaceful for now, local authorities have raised concerns about possible violence. It was more people than he'd ever seen. Hamamatsu, once a quiet and known for its almost pastoral character, had come alive, with shouting voices and waving flags. He wondered if any of his neighbors were in that crowd. He'd always thought he shared nothing in common with them. Perhaps he'd been wrong. Allow them to air their concerns. Communist movement's slightly stronger. 2% of pops become more loyalists in Tokai, increased pop political strength, reduced mortality per turmoil, increased radicals from political movements, or the authorities must act to halt the split. The bark is, the authorities must act to halt these displays. 2% of pops in Tokai are radicalized. Increased state penalties from turmoil, increased radicals from political movements. I'm going to go with the second one. We're suppressing the communist movement, and we're going to continue to do that. Let's go with a slightly increased... So now I'm thinking about these iron frigates. Iron frigates... They still have a ship speed of 15.5, so we're not losing anything on them. We're at 115% screening, but we are also increasing the number of capital ships we're building. Let's go ahead and build another 10 torpedo boat destroyers and another 5 capital ships. And that'll be the ship's construction queue for now. I've got a little bit more authority to play with. Let's throw a consumption tax on... Oh, you know what? Let's actually cut the one on luxury clothes and put one on transportation. That should be fun. How are we doing on electricity? Mostly okay, which is nice. Tohoku, we need quite a bit more. Let's build 8 levels. Shikoku, we need 2 more levels to satisfy demand. Kyoto, where are you, Kyoto? Here we go. Let's build 3 more levels. And then I think maybe we just go ahead and build power plants all across our empire. All across our power block. Our power block. You know, our block where we're powering together. Hey, what's a power block without power plants, am I right? Let me see, we actually are already starting to build some of those, which is nice. Cash flow is still doing really well. In fact, we have... Uh-oh! We have a virtuous cycle going on where our finances are actually doing better while we're constructing, so that's good. Propaganda by the deed. Viewing open political organization as unfeasible, the anarchist movement has embraced the doctrine of propaganda by the deed. Through public assassinations of politicians and businessmen, the movement hopes to inspire the masses to further revolutionary activity. The building's facade, scorched pitch black, yawned before the detective like the maw of a great beached sea monster. Display cases and clothes racks, shattered and cast to the ground, formed its snaggled teeth. A wind-tossed sheet of paper, corners charged, flattened against itself against the side of his boot. War, it proclaimed in a neat copperplate font. He picked it up and turned his back to the wind to stop its fluttering. Class war, it continued, sparked by you. He pocketed it. Now, he thought, where was the nearest printers? Violent times await us. For as long as the activism of the anarchist movement is above protesting 50%, the movement may carry out terrorist attacks against our executives, politicians, or ruler, or all the more reason to be vigilant. This is available because we've got home affairs and home affairs or law enforcement without guaranteed liberties. Same effect, but in addition, minus 25% suppression cost and plus 10% radicals from political movements. I'm going to go with the second one. That's going to give me a little bit more political power, a little bit more authority to play with. And that's going to allow me to put my consumption tax back on luxury clothes, which is excellent. Oh, I'm so pleased. Oh, I'm so pleased. So, I still don't have... So despite the fact that I'm working on central planning, I've got political agitation research. So this gives me access to single party state, but I still don't have any who's going to help me get there. No one's going to help me get to outlaw dissent either. There are potentially people... Yeah, so if I were already on right of assembly, I could get there better. But not at present. Now... Yeah, single party state's available, but nobody wants it at present from census suffrage. But so if I can develop... Let me see. I know there's a journal entry that's... Whoa. The corporate empire. What? Did I just completely goof up my corporate empire event by not picking any of the correct Zaibatsus? I think I didn't. Oh man, well that was dumb. That was dumb. I beefed that one. So I still... There's not really a vigor and greatness. Mass propaganda. Socialist ideology. Okay. What? Hold on. At least one of these. Any interest group is power, or any country above. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, vigor and greatness. This is the one that creates the fascist movement. So, in order to get this, I actually need mass propaganda. Now, mass propaganda. Oh my gosh, this isn't even. That one's even further down. All right, so it's going to be a minute before I've got access to that. So let's continue to focus on what I can change. Plastis is actually spreading to me, which is really convenient. That I'm certainly going to use because I've got oil in my customs union and I need to produce more glass because I love glass. For the moment, though, I think we are actually going to put a pin in it. It has been over 3.5 hours, so I will see y'all again in a week. But for now, my nerds, I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.